1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yo, forget about it. Covino Logistics Incorporated. I'm gonna do it. Give me stupid shit, I'll take it. Yo, Uncle Joey would love a magnet. Showed Barry my dick in 92. Yo, that's not gay. Living with my parents for now. Sold my house cause I buried a doll. Still ride the bus on 22. Doing it my way. Eat a bowl of acai. Yo, these allergies impossible. This time I gotta call Gus. Yo, Gus, help me, man. Go get Mark and Gus, let's go now. We're a bunch of aging Guidos. I shit my pants like I am too. I worry how much I weigh. Yes, I weigh. My bills are overdue. Yes, I worry how much I weigh. How much I weigh. My bills are overdue. Hey, yo. Fuck you. Yo. Allergies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't mind if I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Turn on down on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right. What's up, everybody?
¿Qué tal, vatos locos?
What up?
Let's go. Cheerio to Spawn. Nice hat. Is that a pork pie hat?
It's a bowler.
A bowler. He's got that Ebola. That Ebola. Anyway, that's Spawn, our producer, right there in the middle. He's on the phones if you want to call us. 412-267-7469. Let's get involved. Let's get interactive. The most interactive, most inclusive live podcast of all podcasts. Thank you for being here.
my good pals.
Guten Morgen, my German friends.
By the way, the reason we play Laverne and Shirley, Covino thinks our new font looks like Laverne and Shirley.
No, it's like I love it. I like
love
Laverne and
it.
Shirley. Let's rock out.
Laverne and Shirley, yeah.
Oh.
Dingleberry.
Dingleberry. Thanks, we are Laverne and Shirley, yeah. We're not Laverne and Shirley. We're Covino and Rich Davis.
By the way,
Rich Davis.
this reminds me. Did you see the new MacGruber?
You know, Spot, I did. Is it coming to Peacock, right?
No, the new MacGruber, because Will Forte hosts. Maybe there is, but Will Forte hosted SNL this past weekend, so maybe there is a MacGruber.
Hold on,
Coming.
I think it might be. That's the thing.
But they did a MacGruber skit where he's like super anti-vax COVID guy. So he's like, it's funny, and it just like
MacGruber.
slowly unfolds.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
MacGruber
Might be.
is 8 episodes on Peacock,
Oh, so
and
that
it
must-
debuted mid-December. So
that
I'm
must
guessing
be
it's
yeah.
like wrapping up its run now. But yeah, based on the reoccurring SNL character, MacGruber, Will Forte returns to the small screen as American hero MacGruber. Oh yeah, so dumb.
A lot of people may not know that's from the movie MacGruber,
Oh.
a parody spoof of MacGyver, but that's that hot and heated sex scene.
What, where he's banging his ghost wife in the cemetery?
That one.
That one's
That
fun.
one. So again, I'm Steve Covino. Hi, that's Rich Davis. Thank you guys for being Rich Davis. Thank you guys for being here.
I love
Thanks for all the feedback at Covino and Rich. Hello to the live feed and the Discord, the Daccord, and everybody else.
Would you rather have this one? I like the other one. I think the other one looks cool.
Yeah, for Laverne and Shirley.
No, this just looks so plain.
If you're just listening, we have a
It's
neon
so
light
plain.
in our studio, and
It's so plain.
we could switch it. It's just a logo. It's fake. It's a fake graphic, but
It's fine either way.
Let me hang up the.
I like the other one. You could switch it up.
Hang up the other one. Turn it on.
Yeah, I like it.
That one looks so much
I
cooler.
think you had to rub it like aggressively to turn it on. That's not.
I wonder sometimes how much people care or don't care about like a graphics package.
I think it's very important. Like I look at this and I've gotten used to it. I think it needs to be switched up a little bit. But I think it's very important. Visuals are very important.
There's a guy that always hits us up, and I got to give him a shout out. Jeff Manning always hits us up on Instagram. He showed us a side by side of 3 of the games last weekend.
Yeah,
that all ended on a field goal
with 4 seconds.
with 4 seconds left, and I'm like, well, I don't want to be the jerk off, but teams do 4 seconds for a reason, because if there's a bad snap or some shit goes wrong, they can quickly spike the ball. So it's not that coincidental, but yeah, 3 field goal games. But I asked them better question. Who's got the dope graphics package? Because it was CBS, NBC, and Fox. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're all significantly different. They're all little bottom score things.
Mm-hmm.
But
It really makes a difference.
That's why I say this one. I agree.
Like
With my dad, who said it looks like a beauty salon.
so your dad said it looks like it should be on the front of a beauty parlor. Daniel Javier Fitz says it should say live nude girls.
it does look like a beauty salon. Your dad's right.
It does. Or, as I said,
Sandress.
Laverne and Shirley.
Sandress.
Here's my thought behind the sign.
Main event.
Before we get into the show. My thought on the sign is, let me take away the sign real quick, just so you can have a comparison.
I don't hate it, though. It's fine.
So if you look at the backdrop, so the backdrop is on wood. So wood is very like neutral colored. Then you have the just black palm trees. You guys are always are always devoid of color.
We need to pop.
You're wearing black. He's wearing tan, whatever that color that is.
Light gray.
Light gray. The desk is black. The front of the desk is gray. I try to add some red color pops, but like outside of that, it's very neutral. So you need something that just kind of like jumps out and says, hey, and what's up? And hey, I'm a neon sign, even though I'm fake and digital. So to me, that works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's good for Fridays.
I just
Wednesdays, it throws me off.
I just wonder if people give a shit, because I think it's one of those things that we care about that other people maybe subconsciously see. Like, I think as far as
Jim Ramsey cares.
As far as TV goes,
You know when people care? When it sucks.
when we
So
did
if you old school, if you watch old school
I can-
graphics on any TV show, you'll notice that shit is low budget.
Oh, that's not right.
yeah, but like when we did our SNY TV show, I thought the graphics package for that time, which is like it was like 7 years ago now, it was good.
More like 9 years ago.
When we did the
Right.
It was 2013.
Let's see. Switch the saturation.
but to 2015, so I was saying like our last graphics package
But
was
they were invented and created in 2013.
So it's a better graphics package than we had at ESPN.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
So I think sometimes the graphics are like, oh, that's like the fonts and the color scheme they went with. Now,
Hold on, put that in perspective, what Rich just said. Our graphics package was way better at our local New York affiliate, NBC affiliate, SNY, in 2013 than it was at the Disney-owned master
Powerhouse.
sports powerhouse, ESPN, just a few years ago. He's right about that. He is. And it does matter. Like I said, it matters when it sucks.
Yeah.
It matters when it sucks because your eyes notice it only when it sucks. I don't think anyone is really, unless you work in the industry, sitting there saying, yo, man, sweet graphics package.
yeah, you know,
Until you realize it sucks.
It is sort of in our wheelhouse of job stuff. So I will say every year when the Mets debut the new season, opening day, I'll notice if they tweak their little, where do they have the score? Upper left, upper right, bottom left, bottom right? Is it bigger? Where's the innings? How many strikes and balls? It sounds so ridiculous, but one 10-second story. There was a year where the Mets made one of those like new little, I guess you would call it a lower third or a graphic, right? Where the fans didn't like it. And within a day, they changed it. Like they were like, oh, let's try something new. So you're right. If it sucks, someone notices it. It's like a referee. If they suck, you notice. If you don't notice, it's probably good. But Spot, is it hard to pull up Instagram on your feed there or no?
No, I can do it.
Can you go to our DMs to our buddy Jeff Manning? Because that's the easiest way. Because you really can't.
That guy loves sending videos.
Can't really save it a picture from an Instagram DM.
If you don't notice these things, if anything, we're bringing awareness to it.
Yeah, like he put them side by side by side. He sent us 3 pictures in a row, and it's CBS, Fox, and NBC. And it's like, yeah, they're all slightly different. You might not notice if you don't give a fuck. And if you don't give a fuck, don't worry, we're going to move on in a minute anyway.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah, it's like Fox is the most. Fox is the smallest intrusive font, if that makes sense.
All right, let's see.
If they're pretty bold with their robots.
Here we go.
They do have robots. Like, look, that's your CBS. So
That's CBS.
a thin, like, the whoever has the ball is, I guess you would say, highlighted.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to take away from the game.
Whoever doesn't have the ball
But
is
you
like
want it
in
to
a
look current and cool.
What would you call that spot? Like in a background font? Like what is Tennessee? Like faded? Like the team that has the balls sort of lit up. The team that doesn't have the balls faded.
The opacity has been
Then it has 4th down.
reduced.
How much time left? And 3rd and 10.
This
So-
would be called the graphics package.
Yeah.
And they stick with that pretty much for the season.
Now Fox
I like-
goes a little tighter,
takes up less of the screen. Just the logos.
but it's fatter.
It's italic.
So far, I like Fox's.
Yeah.
And I'm not just being biased.
Yeah, I like Fox better than, what was the first one?
CBS.
CBS. So I like Fox better than CBS.
And then the
this-
last one,
This is
NBC. I sort of like NBC.
I think NBC is my favorite.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you.
I
Yeah.
think NBC is my favorite.
there's something sweet about it.
Yeah, you got the logo in there. It's not
Fox
the
got
full size logo,
I love robots.
but it's faded in. This is like something I would design.
So
No,
that's
it's
the
not.
graphics
They're meant to be
package.
present, but not distracting. Simple is generally best. That's Fox over CBS anyway. But something about that NBC, even the theme song, that's the Tom Brady is the man. Yum, bum, da, 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 dum.
It's all part of the package.
Yeah,
man.
and the little theme music. I saw some guy on TikTok where he's like, I'm going to rate the NFL themes, and he was playing them on the piano.
No, it's significant to make it
People are saying what back spot.
Yeah, I know.
to make
Okay.
it a little more about
Because we're not
us.
seeing the screen.
Remember when we were on SNY?
Yeah.
Remember
I had to reboot
the boys were
program.
on top, they're ready to win. Remember
Yeah. So
the
there you
song was cool, and then we were on ESPN. It's
go.
So I get for messing with the graphics.
kind
Hey,
of
you know what?
cheesy, kind of corny, but it matters. It creates a vibe, if
Yeah.
anything.
So, I mean, little things you don't notice, but I remember when I was a kid, when I was a young warthog.
I got to do it. When he was a young warthog.
Hey, that's pretty
Oh,
good.
thank you, Spot. I remember thinking Monday Night Football, just the theme song, the intro, like they were the first to really do like a montage in the beginning, like
it feel
dun dun
big.
dun 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 dun.
See,
Dun, dun,
creates the
dun, dun.
vibe. Creates the vibe.
When we were kids. Spot, can you pull up the NBA on NBC theme?
Can I get a year on that?
Just 90s. NBA is not on NBC anymore, so it's classic. NBA on NBC was such a big part of that culture. So to say the graphic package and the theme songs don't matter. Yeah.
They matter, but I don't
Oh,
think it's on people's conscious radar. They're like, yeah, let's watch the game.
Yeah, when you hear this,
Unless it sucks, they're
you
not
don't
really
think
paying attention.
a big basketball game with like Jordan when you were a kid.
I do, yeah.
Today, Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks take on the Bulls. Game 5. Like, come on.
Used from 91 to 02.
Way back on a Wednesday. For sure, this will get me fired up for a big game. Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm ready for a crazy pickle basketball game.
Bob, can you give me Monday Night Football? Not the Hank Williams Jr. I'm talking like the Monday Night Football theme, because when we were kids, they still have it, but they've altered it a little bit, which they always do. Welcome to Soldier Field in Chicago, where the Bears. Like, come on. When you were a kid and you didn't have all the TV options you have now, you look forward to shit like this.
I watch these channels on my digital antenna that Rich is so bewildered by.
I'm bewildered, but I get it. Hey, do you, buddy?
I don't think you do. Well, anyway, thank you guys for being here. Welcome to our show with our Laverne and Shirley logo. I get it.
Covino Rich Salon.
The Covino Rich Salon.
Damo works here. I have an appointment at 2:00.
What do you think of this statement? Spots graphics are often distracting and tacky. Haven't been into it.
Who says that?
289.
Well, I think it's
But
something
then
to keep
everyone
in
else
mind.
says keep it.
No.
Do you think my graphics are distracting
I
and
think
taggy?
it's good to switch it up. That's fun. Make it fun because
Covino has a sombrero on.
Visual is
How is that tacky?
part of the entertaining, right? But you don't want to take away like we established here. You don't want to take away.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to be cheesy.
Just trying to keep it visually
listen.
sassy.
It's behind the scenes.
Stimulating.
It's behind the scenes stuff that every radio or TV show or any media sort of goes,
I don't think people care
Goes
as much
for
as
it.
you do.
Yeah, I
You're-
seem to be very interested in that.
You're very interested in like the theme song, the graphics package, and like the uniforms that
Maybe that was my
teams are
calling.
wearing.
Maybe that was my calling. Like I already thought about what uniforms are they wearing this weekend.
Rich is such a weird stickler for it, and he notices like they used that in '89 they had 2 stripes, and then in '93 they went to 2 stripes.
Like this weekend, what uniforms?
I don't know.
Are the Rams going to wear at home versus the Niners? The Niners are wearing road whites, I'm guessing, but are they wearing their throwback road whites or their road whites with the gold pants? Now, the Rams going to wear their bone jerseys or are they going to wear their blue jerseys? Like, I think of those things. Everyone's allowed to have their own little weird things they like.
I'm rolling with
You keep CDs. I mean,
Still got 'em.
I mean, people have
I
their
mean,
own
I
little
also
interests.
built a career in
Yeah.
music and in broadcasting, so they were part of my tools that I
Your tools.
By the way, the reason
loved and lived for.
the reason for the digital neon sign, I wanted to get a real neon sign.
True. I don't think it's necessary.
You
Yeah.
didn't think it was necessary, so I'm
It's
like, I'm gonna.
Well, and the
they're-
reality
and
is
they're
like,
not cheap.
why get a big fucking hunky, clunky?
Because you love hunky things.
That's going to cost you a grand.
Yeah, it's going to cost you $1,000, or Spock could just put one there that no one would even care or notice the difference.
Yeah. So I mean,
And by the way,
I
agree.
bet, yeah. Go
Man,
ahead.
Andrew Hart and I should quit. Today should be the day we quit because we never agree on all these things.
We never agree
the
on
Bengals white unis. The first thing I pointed out when they played last week, I was like, the all white Bengals uniforms were fucking sweet.
But they were all white.
It's the first thing I said to Sarah. I go, yo, Sarah, check those uniforms out. How sweet are those?
Find a color that works.
Yeah, those are great, Rich. I would have gave you
that too
the
much?
Brent. I would have given you the Brent Rambo thumbs up. Yeah, sweet unis.
That could work.
Well,
Again, something I only notice if they suck.
Spot one more quickie, and then we'll
Lower the gamma.
we'll
on
make
that.
like David Ortiz, his former. Was he ever a teammate with Mo Vaughn, or were they different eras? Did they ever overlap? Oh, Jesus Christ! Sorry.
Jesus.
Did they ever
I
overlap?
don't think they overlap. I think Ortiz was on the Twins at the time, but
Yeah.
I did see a Mo Vaughn clip that I had never seen before recently.
Oh, when he was in the hot dog eating contest?
No. You ever see the clip where some douchey Red Sox pitcher that Sean Wyman probably loved and Jamie in Boston probably thought was great
Right.
threw at George Bell, I believe, when George Bell was on the White Sox? You ever see this clip?
No.
Spot, I hate to do a Rich Davis and say, you got to pull this up. Whew. Spot. George Bell's at the plate. Mo Vaughn is at first.
I will describe it first so he can get his search terms because then we'll try to decide.
Mo Vaughn, George Bell,
All right, that should
with a
come up.
J, Jorge. Sometimes it was George.
But on the baseball
That's a
card,
big. That's a big. Like yeah.
that'll help. Yeah.
Let's see.
I live in this
The
world
Mo
of
Vaughn tackle?
I had to have
The Mo
seen
Vaughn tackle?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
I don't
never
know if I've
seen
seen
this
this.
clip. So we'll see if David Ortiz comes out in the melee because I'd never seen this clip and it's a good one. The point of the story is you don't charge the mound when a big motherfucker like Mo Vaughn in his prime
Let me make sure I got
is there on the opposing team. But you know who else is on the White Sox at the time? Bo Jackson.
So this is old school.
Yeah, this
Ooh,
is
this is a good one.
yeah, but I never. It doesn't live. Remember the other day I said it's kind of weird how Roberto Clemente clips really don't live in our highlight reels
That,
of
and
life,
that was a really interesting point. Yeah.
right? How is
Oh,
this
sorry, I
not a
have to
clip that I've
re-
seen before? The one we're about to show you.
To reboot the programming on.
Like this should be anytime there's a montage of melees, I feel like this should be
Is
right
this it?
there. I'd never seen it.
Yeah,
this
I've
is
never
it.
seen this. Just
Who's on
even,
the mound?
even
Can you
based
see?
on the old school to tie it all together fonts.
Yeah, look at the graphics.
I feel like I would have seen the graphics before.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, wait. Boy, so this is 1993.
Mm-hmm.
George Bell charges the mound after he's hit by a pitch by Red Sox pitcher Aaron Sele, and Mo Vaughn gets involved.
Watch this.
Wow.
No, he doesn't get involved.
I know I've never seen this.
I've
Maybe
never seen
have.
it.
Maybe- all right, let's go. Let's roll this.
And then we'll move on.
George Bell is not a good man to come up and in on.
George Bell was a major power hitter in the late 80s, early 90s. Look at this.
Watch out. Oh, yeah. There here goes George. Yeah, Seeley.
Oh,
I'll tell you
boom!
what. There we go.
Mo Vaughn just tackles him. And then, hold on, let it go, because then you see Bo Jackson come running in. You're like, damn. I'd rather have Bo Jackson on my side, regardless of Mo Vaughn
That's
taking
like,
out
who was the
George
guy
Bell.
who was the guy that tackled the guy on the field this weekend?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you see the backstory?
Yeah.
That jerk off in the stands where he's like, $1,000? Yeah, I'll charge the field. And I got to, you know what made me hate him even more? He's like, first I got to vape and get some nicotine in my system. I'm like, oh, you piece of trash. You see the little kid in Kansas City?
I saw it. Well, anyway, time to Mo Vaughn.
His fucking fat sister's like, that's my little bro. I'm sorry, that was rude.
I'm standing my ground while Rich is being rude, kind of rude, you know, like a little rude.
But that is a good clip. I'm surprised it's not in the montage of melees.
George Bell winds up, throws a haymaker, misses. Sele ducks out. As soon as he misses that punch, Mo Vaughn comes from the left side of the screen and just wrecks him.
I think the
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him.
The play that you do see a lot, if you talk about old baseball fights, that I always find, it wasn't necessarily a fight. It was a hit that I'm like, yo, how on earth did this even happen?
Albert Bell and Vina.
Dude.
Fernando Vina.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
That
Rest
one
in peace,
lives,
Meatloaf.
though. It does
Yeah,
live.
it does
you
live.
see it once in a while.
I wonder if
that's
Spot's
when
in this
Albert
one.
Bell was in his most prime.
No, that's when he was raging for roids.
Yeah, you thought he was like the Mike Tyson of the Cleveland Indians.
Spot, look up Albert Bell, and I want to know if you've seen this one, because Spot's a good gauge.
It's wrong. It's fucked up. I hate this clip.
It's a fucked up clip. I wonder if Spot's seen it, though, because if he's seen it, then that means it went
Search
mainstream.
terms,
enough.
go.
Albert Bell.
Albert Bell.
Fernando Vina. Seattle Mariner.
Oh, Fernando. What is it? What happens? Is this
Like a...
He's
he
wrecked.
fucking like wrecks him.
Vina gets wrecked by Bell. That's
was-
got to be it. He's a second baseman that gets wrecked.
It's like before the game was cleaned up, like, well, you can't slide into second. You got to give yourself up at home. Before they came up with the safety rules,
definitely played this before.
it's fucking insane to think how Albert Bell thought this is okay. And it's like, it seemed normal at the time for a
But this
second.
clip lives.
Yeah.
It does, because I see it a lot.
There it is. Vina.
It seems like something off a Naked Gun highlights.
Albert Bell is like Mike Tyson. Fernando Vina is this tiny Hispanic guy at second base.
Yeah. You know what you're going to see next? You're going to see a lion come in the outfield and a guy's head go over the fence. Like this, it looks like it's a fake highlight from Naked Gun.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but it's really messed up. It is.
That's great.
That was fucked up.
That was fantastic. Sign me up.
So, Spot, to tie it all together before we move on and talk about butt cheeks and sex and relationships and all the other stuff,
Time to move on.
Mike hit us up and said, MLB has a good theme with Fox for the World Series. So, throw that one on real quick, because I think that, is that the...
I know all the songs, obviously, but I don't associate them to the network. I don't care about that
Which
stuff.
for what?
Fox World Series theme. You don't... Yeah, how do you
I
not-
know all
how
the
does it not
songs.
compute?
Do you think everyone's as passionate about this? I'm
CBS,
rolling with
I
it
always
because
say
you
that
care.
CBS
I don't think
is like-
anyone gives a shit.
CBS is always the boring, like... I'm
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I said it matters if it stinks. It
Fox
matters.
Sports.
And it matters if you're on that show.
Oh, sorry. This is like an actual
I
intro. Gotta find the actual intro. Hang on.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Nah, sorry.
I'm a fan of all the
I didn't
songs.
mean to do that to you. Joe Buck came up. Sorry.
Again, they provide the vibe.
out of here.
They provide the feel and the
Joe
excitement of
Buck.
the game.
Why is the World Series theme? Let me find out.
Fox Baseball is just a good one, too. But, think about...
I like frog baseball better.
You know what
Remember
you-
frog baseball
You know
way
what you
back on
learned?
Wednesday?
Know what
Frog
you-
baseball?
I don't know frog baseball.
You don't know frog baseball?
No.
Swear to God.
No, it's frog.
See, that's the difference between me and you.
Me and
You're
you.
getting all nerdy about these theme songs.
You get nerdy about frog baseball.
Frog baseball way better.
You know what I always thought was
Fox
fascinating?
Baseball's theme.
You know what I always thought was fascinating?
Frog baseball?
And this is no stroking the ween of...
Jerking the gherkin?
Jerking the gherkin of Fox, since we do Fox Sports Radio. But isn't it pretty wild? There's only a few people I could put in this category. I'll put Under Armour in this category. What else can I put in this category? An already full
saturated market and someone comes in and fucking just starts dominating out of nowhere. Like you and I have talked about Under Armour. Like, yeah, there's Nike, Adidas, Puma, Reebok, Champion. Under Armour was like, nah, we got this.
I found it.
And I'm like, Under Armour decides to come into the mix. They signed a bunch of big players at the time.
No, they got lucky and signed like every standout athlete
At that moment, yeah.
who ended up being superstars, from Canelo to Steph Curry.
Oh, by the way. Yeah, this.
The Bryce Howard, I think, right?
Bryce Howard?
I mean, Bryce
Dallas?
Bryce, no.
Bryce Harper?
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Howard. Yeah, this scene. This doesn't get you psyched for, like, important baseball?
It does. It really does. Not just saying that. But I don't associate this theme with a particular network. I just know all the songs.
Like, you wouldn't know that and then be like, well, TBS doesn't have that. TBS. Really?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think anyone else does. Maybe a few nerds. That's about it. This is like your weird
here's
thing.
the crazy thing. The crazy thing is
This is like your weird passion.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is
So
you love
your sugar-free pound cake?
Yeah, it's my sugar-free pound cake, everybody. Sugar-free.
Show it. Let me see it.
It's fantastic.
What's the flavor profile on that?
You want to try a little piece?
No. Just tell me about it.
I mean, it's delicious. Try a little piece.
Describe it like you're on the Food Network.
It's sweet.
They have sweet graphics package.
You gotta take a little piece of it, and then you gotta describe it as you're eating it, and look like it's the greatest thing
What do you
you've
think?
ever put
What do
in
you
your
think
mouth.
has a better theme song on the Food Network?
Guy Fieri.
Diners, Drive-Ins,
Guy Fieri's. How about that cake guy and Valerie Bertinelli? What do you think of their theme song?
This cake, it's moist, and it's moist and sweet. And knowing that it's sugar-free makes me not care about the calories at all, because I'm like, oh, great artificial sweeteners.
Right. What do you get? What are you getting on that? What are you getting on
So good. So
that? You want to be on the Food Network?
I think
Rich is dyslexic. He wants to be on the Doof Network.
Oh, you said Food Network? I thought it was Doof Network. Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
Doof Network.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Graphics package and sweet theme songs on the Doof Network.
So
You read it backwards.
yeah, there's a little bakery that does sugar-free treats, and I fucking love it. The pound cake's good. The little blueberry treats. Anyway, two thoughts all at once here. Fox in, well, I don't even know the year, 1989, 90, whatever it was. They came out of nowhere and they're like, yeah, we're going to take over football. And they just happened to luck out with The Simpsons and Married with Children, right? That was sort of the story. And all of a sudden, within a year or so, they were right there with CBS, NBC,
Remember,
everyone else.
Part of the story was boom.
Boom, they got John Madden. That was such a big part.
That was the whole story. They had a lot of money to spend, and they stole John Madden and gave
Everyone
him a
else
lot
came.
of money. And once John Madden agreed to it, then everyone followed suit.
But then Fox at that time became sort of like the, not raunchy, but it came like the edgy network because they had Married with Children, Al Bundy, The Simpsons were a big deal. So it is pretty wild to think that Fox,
Yeah, we got robots.
it came out of nowhere. But
Boom. I saw their graphics package. I was like, boom.
here's
I really like the theme song. Boom.
Here's one last thought on the sports themes. Here's where I'm fascinated because you, much like a lot of people, are obsessed with TV themes. I find these to be no different. So can you see my analogy? Like the same way I know the Growing Pains theme, I'm like, yeah.
But
How
I
do
don't
you
know
not-
what network a lot of these shows aired on. I really don't.
But
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
You don't-
if
you
ask
don't
me
know what network?
Growing Pains aired
Well,
on
it's-
NBC.
no,
Well,
it's
I don't give a
ABC.
fuck. I don't care about that stuff.
A lot of them
I'm
were
not saying it's not
ABC.
important. I'm just saying I don't care about those things personally.
no, but I'm just saying the same way you would know all the words to Growing Pains or Silver Spoons or, Charles in Charge. To me, it's like, that's the same way I would say, yeah. I also know this stupid Wrestlers theme or this Sports Networks theme because they were all part of that fabric of our childhood.
I know all the themes,
Yeah.
and I could probably guess which one was which, but
No biggie, bro.
it's not my sort of Will Forte.
I guess you're not supposed to.
it's not your MacGruber.
It's not my MacGruber. I brought it back. See that? And I love baseball. Why would you do that? But I also love frog baseball.
Why would you do that?
Spot, way back on a Wednesday, you have to introduce Rich to frog baseball.
I know it's Beavis and Butthead, right? Someone said I saw.
Well, yeah, you saw.
Yeah, but
Buzz-
I
Buzz in
assumed.
Chicago say it. Arsenio Hall was not on Fox as far as I remember, Wes. Arsenio Hall was on UPN 9. I remember him on Channel 9 growing up. So I remember things like that. I don't remember him on Fox unless it was part of his comeback. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, Patrick.
I agree. No cool show aired on CBS until the 2000s when they got back into the like cool network game with like 2.5 Men, Big Bang, How I Met Your Mother.
What do you think of this song and graphics
I'll be honest, maybe I know too much about this nerdy shit.
It's really
maybe I
nerdy.
took the wrong path.
You really got nerdy.
Maybe I
on
should have
it.
been like a TV exec.
Frog baseball.
Like one in his butt.
It's so weird that you love this.
There's a bug and then a frog comes.
That was cool.
This is early. Beavis and Butthead because
early
it doesn't even sound like them.
This is from, I believe, Liquid Television, which aired on MTV. Had a cool theme song.
Dude, a frog. Frog baseball! Get him!
You don't remember this? Then Mo Vaughn comes. It's crazy. Then Mo Vaughn comes and wrecks.
They're trying to hit a frog with a bat? Hate these guys. But they're so bad they can't do it.
And by the way, Beavis and Butthead are coming back on Paramount. So there you have it.
I hope they bring back frog baseball.
I hope so too, man. I used to love that.
Peter will get mad. They'll be like, oh, Peter.
My brother used to sneak, way back on a Wednesday, my little brother, Tomasito, when he was little, he used to sneak my Beavis and Butthead DVD collection as part of like, you know, him being like a little bad kid.
I'm bad.
They're like, bro, you can't be watching. You're like a little kid. He's like 4. So I want Beavis and Butthead. All right, well, anyway, thank you guys.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Graphics packages, a little bit of sports, some old school highlights. You saw it all here on Tier 2. Covino and Rich,
I mean, you heard it on Tier
also
1.
known as Laverne and Shirley.
Now,
Just trying to tie everything together.
you're on the sports tip, so let me throw one thing out there that's sports related, but not really. It ties everything together we just mentioned. I heard a couple people mention this on social media. I mean, I guess it's not hard to believe, but the 49ers-Packers game on Saturday night was the most watched show on television on a Saturday night in over 25 years. I think close to 30 million people watched that game. And Aaron Rodgers came out and said, people watched that game because they just wanted to see him lose because he's unvaccinated.
That's why he's not going to win the MVP. That's why Tom Brady's going to win the MVP.
And retire.
And retire because it's a nice way to go out. It's not a Super Bowl, but it still says, I left on top. Is it fair that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to win the MVP because of that? No, but writers will hold that against him. So my prediction is Tom Brady wins as a result, and he's arguably the winner anyway. But I think Aaron Rodgers would have had the edge.
Of course.
Stat-wise and what he meant to his team, right? So Aaron Rodgers won't get the votes because people hold that against him, and he's very hateable. Ask Aziz Ansari. And as a result, Tom Brady retires. The end. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
Yeah, writers have a little too much power in those circumstances, to be honest.
I mean, like they appreciate Aaron Rodgers' stance
I mean, and also the reality
on
is
the
like,
vaccination.
look at what sports writers did in baseball. Fucking a crime to keep Barry Bonds.
Frog baseball?
It's a crime. It's a crime to keep Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens out of the Hall of Fame, and it's a shame to keep Beavis out of the Frog Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, I should be like one of the best.
He threw home runs in one game.
You sucked at Frog Baseball.
I was the best. So anyway,
So yeah, I think I think Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if the reason people watch that more than any other Saturday night quote show, it had the highest ratings on a Saturday
before
night.
that it was Solid Gold. Now before that, Dance Fever was the highest rated Saturday show
the number one watched Saturday night
on Saturday night.
show in close to 30 years, which is like crazy to think. Why did so many people watch that game? Aaron Rodgers thinks because the world was rooting against him.
I mean, it makes it more fun when there's a quote unquote villain, right? How many people tuned in to watch Floyd Mayweather win, but also tuned in to watch Floyd Mayweather finally lose or get beat just because he was a divisive guy? Polarizing. He's
people
a polarizing
love
character.
watching Floyd because you're right. Everyone thought this might be the time he gets knocked out.
Right, and he wasn't that likable. I mean, to me. To me. So, ratings are up, big games, more great games this weekend.
And by the way, 49ers game.
I'm excited to see what uniforms they wear and what graphics packages are.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Maybe they busted a new one.
I'm excited. Oh, by the way, just someone said if the Packers had those high ratings, what was the Bills-Chiefs numbers? And I just looked it up. It was the most watched divisional game on any network since the Cowboys-Packers in 2017. Averaged over 40 million viewers.
Well,
So-
since you brought up the Chiefs,
As people said, I think it was Colin Cowherd who said, I'll give that guy credit for a second. He said, what a rough week for the people that were like, I'm boycotting the NFL.
yeah,
Like-
it's kind of done, I think.
But then you could also make the argument the NFL sort of backed off the politics. That's what someone will say. They'll be like, well, they backed off the politics, which is why I'm back. Or people just fucking love football, and it's by far, with not even a close second, the most popular sport in the United States. Not even a close second. What's a close second? NBA Finals? Baseball playoffs? Not even close. Stanley Cup? Give me a break.
Pickleball.
Jim Ramsey's Pickleball Club.
Yeah, it's on the rise for sure. A lot of momentum behind pickleball. So, yeah, 43 million views. Chiefs, Bills. Thank you, Michael Lee.
Unbelievable.
Now, you brought up the Chiefs. Might as well just let the show unfurl. I saw a lot of people on social media hating your take on Patrick Mahomes' wife.
You want to know my stance on it?
Yeah, I'd love to.
They are. They don't understand that deep down inside they're jealous.
They're jealous of what?
People don't like when other people could do things that they can't do.
Yeah, but people shouldn't take advantage of, or I don't know how.
It reminds me of a clip
have
of Larry David.
Self-awareness about them. And
Larry
like I
David.
said yesterday, although I was trying to back up Rich in his point, what they're doing isn't good for the Mahomes brand. It's like, take a back seat.
No one has even questioned not dealing with Patrick Mahomes because of his fiance.
Do you think his fiance and his brother make him more likable?
My fiance.
I don't think any client, whether it be State Farm or Under Armour or anyone that Patrick Mahomes deals with, I don't think anyone has blinked at his stupid brother and his quote annoying fiance.
You've winked at his stupid brother.
Do you think the thing she's tweeting out against the Chiefs fans is a positive thing? You don't think those are signs that she could be a loose cannon and it could turn into something?
He'll take her side every time. The way you would take your ex-wife's side, the way I would take my wife's side, the way anyone takes anyone's.
Doesn't
Everyone
matter.
will take
Don't
their
you
wife's
think
side.
It would be in? Don't you think his daddy, Pat Mahomes, would be like, hey man, maybe you should tell her to chill out and let you do your thing?
Then he'll say, mind your own fucking business,
Yeah,
Dad. Then that
It's affecting his business. It will. If it hasn't yet, it will
I'm
or
telling
could.
you, it hasn't. So
It
if
could.
it does, then you
think
can
Patrick
start your
Mahomes, hold on.
Then you can start your argument when it has.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes,
When he's not making
when
40
he's getting
million
ready for a huge game, wants to deal with the media coming at his wife because she's being too outspoken? No professional athlete needs that headache when they're supposed to be focused on the game. None. I'm not saying they're doing anything against the law. Just saying, it's not anything that's
between
productive
endorsements
for Patrick Mahomes.
between endorsements
Same. Same.
and his salary. Patrick Mahomes makes over $50 million a year, and there's not one person that doesn't
Same.
want to deal with Patrick Mahomes. There's people that want to deal with Antonio Brown.
Okay, but Brittany Matthews,
Same.
Patrick Mahomes' wife, is calling Kansas City Chiefs fans losers. Meanwhile, she's spraying them with
No,
champagne.
she said, I wish I could do what I want without getting attacked every week.
Same.
Which is a fair statement.
No, it's not, because
I want to
don't
be
make
able
a
to, why can't I
spectacle
live
of
my
yourself.
I can't live my
because
life.
you're Patrick Mahomes' wife. That's why. That's why. And it's
May I-
about him.
may I-
It's not about you.
The first, I think
That's why.
I think the first comment kind of touches on how everyone else feels. And let me scroll down. You can, but act accordingly. Last time I was at a game, a regular fan who threw alcohol on people was escorted out of the stadium. However, being the fiance to the quarterback, I guess, provides you with a sense of rules don't apply to me
They
mentality.
don't!
And everyone is picking on you.
How do you not see that?
Classy.
How do you not see that?
Forget. I don't want to talk about it. I want to
don't
move on.
either.
Why? Because you're pretending
even know
like
this happened until you brought it up.
everyone's equal.
I didn't care.
No, I'm not. You
I
think
don't
I'm
care
taking
either
some
way.
weird thing just to disagree with you? I don't think it's right.
you're making
or
it seem
okay.
like- you're making it seem like
I
everyone's
understand
equal.
what you were trying to say yesterday.
You know
Hey,
what
if you
Kansas-
want to keep Patrick Mahomes around, maybe you shouldn't be attacking his wife because
what-
he's going to hold that against you,
you know what,
later
you know
come
what-
contract
You
time.
know
I
what,
get
you know
what
what
you were saying.
You know what Chiefs
Doesn't
Kingdom,
mean I agree with
you
it.
know what Chiefs Kingdom says? Chiefs Kingdom, their fan base, has no problem with her. It's fucking troll fans online that are stirring it up. You think people that are at a playoff game at Arrowhead,
You think if you had your little kids at the game,
You think
you
what-
want someone from
you're a bad parent then.
the upper
You're a bad
tier
pa- if you have-
spraying them with champagne?
Then you're a shitty parent. If you brought
shitty in that
if you
moment?
brought a little child to
Yeah.
a playoff game in the freezing cold,
Yeah.
you're a shitty parent.
You think there's no kids at the fucking game?
Little kids?
Little kids, yeah. I don't mean babies. I mean little kids. You think there's kids at the playoff game? Drew Mack brought his son to the game. You
Drew
think
Mack's son is like a teenager.
No, he's not.
It's like a preteen.
That's a little kid. You want
You think if Derrick
the
Henry-
quarterback's wife spraying champagne all over his
So
head?
you're
like,
trying to tell me
whoa.
that if Drew
What's
Mack,
going on?
if Drew Mack in Nashville was at that Titans game
Yeah.
and they won on a last minute field goal,
But why-
and
you think that's okay?
Ryan Tannehill's wife was like, "Yay, celebration, spraying champagne." His
But it's
family,
not just
him
that.
and his
She's
kids would be like,
always making a spectacle of herself.
"You're part of the fun." People would pay for that.
Well, they are having fun, but they're also messing with Patrick Mahomes.
Adam's right.
His image.
Chief fans are not upset. It's internet trolls that are upset.
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
Okay, but does he need that headache?
Guess who doesn't care?
Are other quarterbacks' wives dealing with that? No, because they take a back seat and they act accordingly.
I just assume
Are they doing anything that bad?
Rich
No,
had-
but they should know better.
Larry David, this is a
Rich
great clip.
had beer dumped on him at an exclusive Sirius XM event
Was
where
he
Bruce
happy about
Springsteen
it?
was
Was
performing.
he happy about it?
This is an open air, exciting football game where
Yeah.
booze are
Smart.
flying.
If this was a one-off moment, then okay. Oh man, it was.
Is that her
the
thing? Does she do it
greatest
every
game.
week?
No, it's the
Bro,
greatest
they're in
game.
the news all the time.
for dancing and
Patrick
being annoying.
Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes,
me
the
another reason.
brother,
Give me
and
another
his
one.
wife,
Give me another
because they can't help themselves but want to be part of the spotlight because they can't help themselves.
They were
That's why.
fighting. They were fighting with a fan.
I have a hard time mustering up the energy to like pick a side on this.
I understand what
I
Rich was
really
saying.
don't give a
By the way,
shit.
we talked about it yesterday. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
The biggest name in the NFL, the biggest sport. Rich just established this.
Andrew, yeah, look, Drew Mack's right. My 12-year-old would love it. All right, if you told me,
Yeah,
Doesn't
because he's
make
you know
it
why?
okay.
'Cause he's like free booze.
Like you said, anyone else would be escorted out of the stadium.
It's like, look, Dad, I'm drinking.
they're
So
not
hold on.
anyone else.
Please. Yesterday you went on this whole rant.
I don't wanna
and
talk about it
agree with
anymore.
you. And I backed you
I'd
up.
be
I
annoyed
understand what you were saying.
Because I just bought this hat.
They're not in
and
the
now
news.
there's champagne on it.
You're right. They're not in the news. It's social media people.
Then why do we know their names?
Because they're on
Because
social
they're
media.
publicly putting themselves out
All right,
there
I'm going to do a poll.
every week. You think what Jackson Mahomes is doing is good for his brother, who's a superstar's image? Yeah, he's his own person.
He's his own man.
But like back off a little bit. You're making like an ass out of yourself, and it could affect me in the future. I don't need that. Like I don't need to deal with questions about my brother.
There's a
in
Larry
the
David
press.
clip. There's a Larry David clip, right? Where Larry David goes to the back of a plane to use the bathroom because someone's in the first class bathroom. And the woman's like trying to stop him. Like, you can't use that bathroom. Use the first class bathroom. And Larry David's like, I could use whatever bathroom I want. But she's like, but I can't use the one in first class. He's like, correct. But I could use the back one. Because not everyone's equal.
But that doesn't give you the right to be a jerk off.
Larry David, could he use the back bathroom?
That's fine. I mean, these are apples and oranges. We're talking about like.
All right, but all right, I'm asking, there's not one person.
I'm not saying everyone's equal.
There's
I'm
not one person that if you were at a game.
So I'm not taking some weird
All
like righteous
all
stance.
right, if
I'm just saying they're not doing anything positive for the brand and image of Patrick Mahomes.
okay,
That's it.
I could. Your argument is that if he dated a quiet yes
You have
woman,
to be
it would be
quiet.
better.
Giselle and every other prominent first lady is there supporting their husbands and cheering them on. They're not making clowns of themselves. How do you not see that? You think Patrick Mahomes, up before the biggest game of his life, needs to like deal with like, yeah, man,
But he's not
social media is really attacking my wife right now. He doesn't need that headache.
Right. It's distracting.
You don't think that's a distraction that
It's
he doesn't
distracting.
need?
Spot pointed out.
Yeah,
Yesterday.
the two of them are a liability, and I know.
How does he not see
and
this?
I know, Rich, and I know you say, hold on.
Liability.
Let
Antonio
me
Brown's a liability.
I know that you say no. The Chiefs are not going to get rid of Mahomes because he's a fucking superstar. I completely agree with that.
And
based on the behavior,
yesterday, his point
but
was
a liability can have effects in other ways. What don't you see about that? Like
Antonio,
his
there's
career
teams
will be fine.
teams that are going to want Antonio Brown next year.
Mahomes' career will be fine.
He had a girl spraying champagne is a problem, but Antonio Brown could run off a field, take his clothes off, and there's
that's
a team.
one of many different things that provides criticism that Patrick Mahomes doesn't need to deal
in
with.
today's cancel culture, where the slightest toe out of line does something to you.
I agree that she needs thicker skin.
She does. You could lose endorsements. You could, I don't know. Things could happen.
He's going to lose endorsements because his wife sprayed champagne. Under Armour or Nike, whoever he's with, is going to be like, oh, you know, Patrick, you're the most elite athlete in sports right now, but your wife does silly dance with your brother.
Let me remind you of a story recently. Don't you remember the story where his brother,
effects.
hold on, how his brother, who's out there embarrassing his older superstar brother all the time, went into a restaurant and caused a big scene, and then there was a big public social media war going on between his brother and the restaurant because he was acting like a jerk off, using the Mahomes name. These are all things that Patrick... Yes, because his brother and his wife are a tandem of annoyance. How are they not? They're there fucking making it about them all the time, not doing anything to help the wonderful image of Patrick Mahomes.
You guys
have they
obviously
done anything yet to ruin it? No. But aren't all the signs there that the possibility could happen?
Remember when Bill Clinton was running for president? And
What year?
1992.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you meant 92 or 96. Okay.
Or was it 96? Remember, now I'm thinking it's not George Clinton. Roger Clinton. It was, right? Wasn't it? It was like, what, wasn't someone in his family a liability?
No one's a liability anymore.
But I'm just saying, like,
we don't live in that type of world. If family members
we
of people are
don't?
liabilities,
We
then
don't?
look at Biden's sons and the Trump sons would have prevented them from getting where they are.
If you're in a, like, everyone's in a blast radius, Rich, in today's culture. You're in a blast radius.
If Biden's son and Donald Trump's kids didn't prevent him from getting anywhere, then is there really such thing as total liability?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You're in a blast. There's a blast radius in today's cancel culture.
Yeah. Do you think the Cuomos needed this hassle?
Well, what about this then? Then the best example of this spot, the best example
it's
of all.
It's a distraction, bro. That's it.
The best example
Give
of
me the
all
hand.
would be.
Talk to the hand.
The best example would be Cheryl Hines and Robert Kennedy Jr. No? Wouldn't that be the best example of blast radius?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. What's the story?
Oh.
I don't know the story.
Well, the story is
Robert Kennedy Jr. is very anti-mask, anti-vax, anti-everything. And Cheryl Hines is like liberal fucking Hollywood persona, but they're married. And she came out yesterday being like, yo, my husband and I don't share any of his like views or anything. You don't know the story at all? It's interesting. You should look it up. I feel like you'd find it interesting.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, but she is not a celebrity. She's making herself a public figure, every week doing something that goes viral. And she posted today, the update to the story is, I just wish I could do what I want without getting attacked every week. Kyle Vachon says he'd love to know what we thought about this. Again, she got attacked for spraying champagne on all the fans. And again, his brother is always out there acting the fool and garnering lots of attention and criticism from fans.
Ask yourself one question and then we'll move on.
Yeah. So I'm just giving you the update.
If you were at Game 7 of the World Series, right? You were out here. Let's say it was Yankees Dodgers. You didn't even have to go to fucking New York. Yankees World Series Game 7. And the Yankees win the most dramatic game. And give me your favorite Yankee now.
Now? Aaron Judge.
Yeah, he loves Aaron Judge.
Sure it's not Gary Sanchez?
I don't like Gary
I know,
Sanchez.
you hate him.
How did you not know it was Aaron Judge? I even knew that. He loves Aaron Judge.
I love a lot of
If
Yankees.
Aaron
but
Judge's
Judge
girlfriend-
is my favorite.
Especially with a beard.
If Aaron Judge
I do love Aaron Judge.
had a girlfriend,
Right?
Yeah.
and Aaron Judge's girlfriend
He just got married.
was spray. If his Aaron Judge's wife was spraying champagne and a little drip got on you, you would probably use that as like a story. Like, yo, even I was near Aaron Judge's wife, and even a little champagne got on me.
Keep
It would
making
be
it
a
about this
bragging
one
right
story, man. If it was a one-off thing, it wouldn't really be a story.
Well, the
this
other
is
things
just
are- oh, wait,
another
whoa, whoa.
moment.
The other things, the other things are
Rich.
more about her just being annoying.
Rich.
Yeah.
You go to the 49ers game.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to because I'm a jinx.
You go to the Super Bowl.
I'm a
because
jinx.
it's in LA.
Not going.
But you're not
I'm
going.
a jinx.
You got sweet dope seats.
Even if they made it, I'm not going. I'm a jinx.
Would you take a bottle of champagne and spray it all over everybody around you?
Me in the
Yeah,
crowd?
yeah. Would you do that?
No, but if I'm in the owner's box and I'm
Okay,
if
so
I,
you're-
if
you're
I was
in the
Jimmy
owner's-
Garoppolo's boyfriend.
You're in the okay. So like Zito just got invited to the owner's box. Zito's like, bro, I got us into the owner's box. Come with me. Would you take champagne and spray it all over everybody? You're in the owner's box. Would you take champagne and spray it all over everybody below? Like, we just won. Oh my God. Would you do that?
You know what? I don't care enough to defend
No.
two idiots I don't know.
Would
I'm
you
just saying
do-
I
would
think
you-
people
no,
are so
tell me.
righteous.
Would you do that?
As a fan or the wife or husband of someone very important?
You're invited into you're invited into the owner's box.
I'm a nobody spot.
But you're invited into the owner's box. You're elite. You're above everybody else. Jesus Christ. You're a friend of the owner.
Yeah, according to your story, no spot. You're right. Let's move on.
And she also
No,
said we're
answer
winners and
the
everyone else is
question.
losers.
I like that.
Answer the question.
How do you like that? That's not good for Patrick Mahomes.
Yes or no, Rich? Would you do it?
When I do it as Rich Davis, guy that has no affiliation with the team, that's a big difference.
Just answer the question. Would you do it?
I'll tell you, some people on social media did not agree with you this morning.
Okay,
That's not-
you're a friend of the team. You're affiliated with the team. I don't know. Sarah Sarah got a job as the
I'm
announcer.
not going to answer.
I don't know.
I'm not going to answer because there's a big difference between
I'm just saying
being the
here's
wife
where
of
I'm
the wife of the star player of the league.
Here's where I'm trying to lead it. We constantly say on the show, don't defend behavior that you wouldn't do yourself.
True.
So if you're the guy that's going around spraying, throwing beer on people and spraying champagne on people in celebration, then fine.
Would you go to Sarah's work
I would
event
never do
and
that.
make an ass of yourself?
I would never do that.
Or would you act respectable?
Yeah, I would never do that.
Well, he does. I'm
in
not gonna,
celebration, never have I said, let me affect other people around me. That being said, I don't give a shit.
I really don't give a shit either. I don't care.
It's so
I don't
hard
care to
to
defend some doofy fucking
It's so hard to defend.
dancing little boy and his wife.
Well, there was an update. We
I
followed
don't
up
care to
with it.
defend them. I'm just saying
She wants to do what she wants without
I'm just saying,
being attacked.
I'm just saying the dynamic of people like having this stance of like,
Yeah, but think of what she's saying. I want to, like, she's doubling down. I want to spray champagne all over everybody because I can. To me, that rubs me the wrong way, bro. I'm not saying she should be, torn down because she was in the moment and was having fun. But now she's like, I want to do what I want. That's what she's saying. You can't do what you want all the time just because you're Patrick Mahomes' wife. And if anything, like I said, it's not good for him because he doesn't need that distraction. He doesn't need it. The end. Moving on.
I mean, we all don't know what's a distraction or not, you know? I mean, like, for all we know, you don't know how much he might be. Patrick Mahomes, I think this is funny. And
Ray
not care
says,
at all.
in this sensitive world, anything and anyone could affect what happens to you.
I mean, we realize very quickly that in the world of sports, what you do, you're not held accountable for. So if you're going to get mad at a girl spraying champagne, but you're okay with a guy hitting women or someone fucking breaking the law and guys doing all this shitty stuff. Antonio Brown's already talking about how he's going to play with Lamar Jackson next year for Baltimore.
Hold on. Put it
So
in
this
perspective.
guy
Put it in perspective.
is above the law.
Would you be okay if Sarah went on social media and started calling all your listeners losers and started going on some real crazy fucking opinionated rant because
She didn't call the
wants
Chiefs
to
fans
do
losers?
what she did say that we're winners and everyone else is losers. She said that.
She didn't say Chiefs fans are losers.
She said we're winners. People are just mad because we're winners, and
So
they're
she's
losers.
calling out other people.
Yeah, I know, but how is that? You think that's like
If my wife
good
went on social
press?
media and was like, other podcasts suck balls, Covino Rich are the best, I'd be
all
like,
right,
baby,
then let's say
baby,
she was
don't do that. But
doing
I mean, like,
things you didn't agree with necessarily because you don't need that distraction on social media. Although she's her own person, do you need to deal with that?
I suppose not.
There's so many ways to look at it.
She's living, she's living the life we all want. We're jealous. I agree, Alejandro.
I'm not jealous at all, bud. At all. Like, not even a little bit. But, you know, we shouldn't even know who they are. We shouldn't.
Rich won't let us forget.
So that's the update. We're not agreeing on it. We're not really disagreeing either. I agree with what Rich was saying yesterday. It's a little counterproductive for Chiefs fans to be attacking his wife if they want to keep him in Kansas City.
She's the neck.
That was the point he was making yesterday.
She's the neck. That's all. All right. How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers saying that everyone hates him because he's on vaccinated? Less thought on that. Any thoughts on that or no? Do you think people? Do you think
I think
there's
he's right. I think he's great, and I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's right about that. And unfortunately, he won't win the MVP because of it.
I think there's a major sense of something that bothers me, and since we're in a fucking argumentative movement anyway,
I'm not at all.
Let me throw one more thing. Let me throw one more thing at you. I'm pretty sure things have gone so haywire now. You see with this like Joe Rogan Spotify drama.
What's the update?
Well, the update is that like what Vince Neil wants his music off. Doctors are signing letters to like take them all. It's wild to me. I'm not saying that
Neil Young was
I'm
the
not
story
saying
yesterday.
that fake information's a good thing at all. But I do want to point out one thing. When people have different opinions or different doctors or different people come up with different points of view, to immediately humiliate those people and shun them and tell them they're wrong and try to shut them up is like not a good thing. It's like the idea of like, here's the opinion, here's the.
Oh, Jen Brown said Neil Young, not Vince Neil. I thought Vince Neil was just another name.
No.
So yeah, Neil Young,
Neil Young
was yesterday's story.
But-
Vince Neil was not the guy.
But isn't it?
He said Kickstamaha.
But isn't it sort of messed up?
Vince
You don't think it's
Neil.
sort of messed up that if anyone has an alternate view of things that are not necessarily 100% facts, they're told they're dumb and they're humiliated. Like, listen,
Aziz Ansari used Aaron Rodgers as
like, oh, he's a dumb football player.
straight on material to make him look like a jerk.
I just look at it like, listen,
He's the high school quarterback jock. Who
I was like, damn,
you're so
dumb.
you're so
You're like the dumbest guy I ever heard.
I mean, the guy gets hit in the head for a job.
I mean, he's like the dumb jock. It's
like the dumb jock being bad at science.
in the
By the
new
way-
Aziz Ansari special, he does this whole thing about Aaron Rodgers, how stupid he is.
I love that it was a small venue because he toned down the Aziz.
He did.
Which made it more enjoyable.
like, damn.
Yeah, it made it more enjoyable.
That's good. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Quack should go on social media and be like, "Oh yeah, we're there's aliens and they're here among us and they're." If people are fucking clearly wackadoos, that's one thing.
How am I supposed to root for the Packers when he's so dumb?
A guy who's not a doctor cannot have an opinion on the medical field, but there are doctors that have opinions that are being told they're the outliers. And I think if we're entering such dangerous territory where if you disagree with what you're being told, like you're being brainwashed to thinking like that person's like a maniac now. It's wild that people are making Joe Rogan and other people like the narrative is moving more and more towards those people
Joe
are
Rogan
maniacs.
has so many followers and people that look up to him that honestly, I don't feel bad about it at all. In
No, I
this
don't feel-
particular story.
I don't feel
this
bad
is just
about
a one-off example.
No. I don't feel bad about it. I'm just saying free speech
Yeah.
and people's opinions
It's
and all
just
that.
an example of the problem. I get
the
it.
problem is people being told, like, if you don't agree with what Dr. Fauci and Joe Biden and these select few people are telling you, then you must be a fucking whack. And that's not the case. And you're allowed to have different opinions. I'm not saying some jerk off that doesn't know anything is like, I'm doing my own research.
Well, the
I'm
thing
not
is-
talking about
thing
that
is
guy.
no
I'm
one-
talking about people just in general, like
Science is ever
dismissing
changing.
everything.
That's the thing about science. Like, I think we all could agree that we believe in science. I believe in science. I do.
See, like Bill says, Rogan's on the Alex Jones fast track. That's ridiculous. Joe Rogan is a guy that just feels there was an alternate way to treat COVID, and
Yeah,
he's
but
making.
Bill Jackson is on the fucking
track of like listening to whatever
the
he's told.
left side at a high speed, faster than a speeding bullet. He's like a locomotive going all the way left. Like he's like absurd, the things that Bill Jackson writes.
I just think it's if you don't agree what they believe in, you're canceled or told you're dumb, right? So I just think it's dangerous territory. Dangerous territory.
But I feel like we've been
in that, but it's getting worse
in
and
there
worse.
for a long. What makes you think that? The Joe Rogan stuff?
Well, that and like I saw some of the Z stuff. Like Aaron Rodgers is sort of like a dunce with the media. Like he's I saw a great analogy where like Tom Brady's like a team player. Tom Brady's like a good guy. Aaron Rodgers has always been a
thinker.
Aaron Rodgers has always been like
A free thinker, not a dummy.
a free thinker. But like, just because Aaron Rodgers is like,
they made him out to be a dummy, and that shows that Aziz really doesn't know much about Aaron Rodgers or football. Because everybody knows that Aaron Rodgers isn't your typical Gronkowski. He's not. He's a deep and free thinker. Is he right? I don't know, but he's not a dummy. And Rich is saying, I think is what you're saying.
You're being called a dummy
or
if
like
you
a crazy
question if you
person.
question anything. Like it's
Right.
like, hey, here's what they're saying.
That is
like,
dangerous. You're right.
Hey, like for instance, hey, wear a mask. These are effective. I'm a good citizen. I got vaxxed. I wore my mask. But if someone's like, hey, you sure these masks even work? This guy's a fucking
and
dummy.
Now, what are they saying?
And now it's
That
like,
they
well, the
don't
masks
work.
really don't work. So it's like,
because
so all
research is always changing. And
I saw a great phrase. It said something like, when science is proved wrong, it's not that they were wrong. It's just it's ever changing and like
And they didn't
you're
have all the
learning new
information
things.
yet.
But it's like for anyone that said the spot early on, right? When there were people like masks don't even work. I was always like, well, they gotta work better than fucking me just spitting on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how effective they are, but
Wear
there are
my
people that are
mask.
like, no, they work perfect. And if you disagreed with that sentiment, you were a dummy. And now,
or you're automatically some crazy right-wing Republican.
yeah, and it's wild how people.
I'm a chicken wing Republican.
It's a good one. I like that.
Good one, Spot.
I like that one, Spot.
Frog baseball. So,
Chicken wing.
yeah, and it's even present in our audience. Like even guys like our buddy Jeff are like, oh, get your tinfoil hats, or just listen to everything you're told. I guess like, let's just listen to everything we're told.
Yeah, they've been wrong about so
Everything's
anyone who's
manipulated.
like super science guy. They've been wrong about so many things. But so many things.
But just not only that.
So
like,
how could you put
not
all
only-
your faith in someone saying, this is it, how it is, and this is how it's going to be, when it's always changing? It's okay to ask questions, man.
Hey, wear a mask, but
And I
then
think
go
that's what Rich
into
is-
wear a mask to the drugstore, but then go into a 50,000 person stadium with no masks. Order your food with a mask on, and then eat 10 feet away without a mask. So the messaging has been confusing, but I just hate the fact that even though I'm not one to super question these things, honestly, I'm just sort of going with the flow. I wear a mask in the store because that's what you got to do. I got vaxxed; it was the right thing to do. But I hate that when someone else questions, it's like, well, they're a dummy. It's like, why?
Do you think the Neil Young thing will turn into other people following suit?
Mauser is, as much as Mauser's one of my good buds, he's eye-rollingly like super liberal with these things. Like he chucks up Joe Rogan to a fear factor guy that's a fighter, as if Joe Rogan's not a well thought out guy. Really? You think of Joe Rogan as the fear factor guy who's like the fight guy with no intellect?
I don't.
I don't
And
at all.
I'm not a Joe Rogan supporter by any means.
Well,
I don't. I think he's I think he's a really smart guy.
it just goes back to
I think he's a deep thinker.
It just goes back to Aaron Rodgers saying that
He's also
society
a
has
bozo
made
in a lot of ways,
Aaron
but-
Rodgers saying society has made him the villain, and there is something to be said about that. Like Aaron Rodgers was really painted to be like this fucking whack job, and he's like, well, is Aaron Rodgers really a whack job?
And I really think that based on that perception, that public perception, the court of public opinion, he will lose the MVP that he should have won.
Oh yeah.
And think about it. And writers, for the most part, I would imagine, in the media are more left-leaning. They make it political, and they're going to use that against him come voting time. Tom Brady wins. Tom Brady retires at the end. That's really how it all unfolds and unfurls. As far as the Joe Rogan story, that's just an example of the bigger picture.
I saw.
Do I think other people will follow Neil Young's lead? I think a few might, actually. It gets press, right? We were talking about Neil Young. His heart of gold.
God. Ugh.
I don't care about Neil Young. Neil Bung is what I always call him.
Yeah, Neil Bung. Yo, frog baseball, bro. Let's stick to frog baseball. I want to bring up one more point about serious nonsense stuff, and then I do have a friend in need.
But you're making a good point. I don't want it to get brushed over.
It's like you can't just
It's dangerous territory. It doesn't make, because Aziz is a great example. If you haven't seen Aziz Ansari's,
he's funny and he's
new
smart.
special, I loved it. I thought it was great. It was a very funny 25 minutes, but he really does so matter of factly throw it out there that, oh, everyone in this room is vaccinated, right? Cool. Let's bully the guy who thought different than us. It's like a weird reversal. It's like, because Aaron Rodgers would have gave you a wedgie as a kid and bullied you. Now you think it's okay to bully him because he's thinking different.
If someone has it's just a really
That's
weird
two wrongs
thought.
don't make a right. If I'm gonna say these nerds, if these nerds didn't like how it felt to be bullied, why, when they get a little bit of power, feel the need to bully everybody else when you've already established in your own life that you don't like to be bullied or put down and felt that way? Yeah, everyone takes this high fucking road to now bully the other people who are not like you or not as successful or in a different position because you have a little bit of power. Aziz Ansari is on stage, and it's funny. I loved it. I watched it. I was laughing my ass off. But he took that as an opportunity to say, let's make fun of that guy. And that guy just happened to be Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is just the example of a lot of people that feel that way. And when we say a lot, kind of like
more than half our audience.
More than half our audience.
Yeah. Based on the feedback we get.
Yeah. It's the country's very split down the middle.
Like a pair of cheeks.
Like Rich's cheeks in the early 2000s.
There you go. Frog baseball, bro. Frog baseball.
It's fine.
My new thing is frog baseball. Frog baseball, bro. Frog baseball.
Frog baseball changed my life,
let's. There's oh fuck! I had one more thing. What was it? Well,
I was like, damn, he might be the dumbest guy I ever met.
Okay, I had one more thought, and I thought this is a good one. Spot it. Would love your thoughts on this as well, since you're a controversy guy.
By the way, I love your toned down Aziz. I think it's great.
Toned down Aziz?
Toned down Aziz.
Yeah,
is
I'm
like,
kind of cold. How am I supposed to take my hoodie off when it's so cold?
But you don't look at that.
He was wearing a fucking blue Scully.
But you don't look at that guy.
It was filmed in December, so it was cold in New York.
You don't look at that guy and say, while he's funny, he's, for as dumb as you might think this person is, you don't think he's like equally smug?
Yes,
of course.
Like fucking.
We all got our vaccines. That guy is stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I saw a great question, and it was,
but I like Aziz. I like Aziz.
It was a question by a football player, so it must be dumb. Because a guy that plays sports and
well, you know what I didn't like
on a
about
professional level learns schemes and all
that.
that.
I feel like you're getting this sort of vibe too. It's like now it's time to bully the jock or the guy who likes sports.
Yeah,
that's how it came across. And I it's comedy, so I could take a joke. But if you really want to break it down, what he was saying is like,
guys who like sports are stupid.
He's
Look
a
at me
nerd.
with my blue hat on.
Yeah,
because he's a little nerd.
Yeah, but no. But now nerds, quote unquote nerds, are bullying people who are thinking different, or in this case, like I said, athletes or anyone who likes athletes.
Now, there was something an athlete. I forgot who it was. And I won't be able to find it because it was not an athlete I knew.
Was it Superhuman Athlete? What's his name? Superhuman Athlete?
Oh, the guy from from
Impractical
Jokers. Yeah. There was a quote that he put out there, and it was just a statement, and I thought it was really interesting. If professional athletes are not allowed to bet on sports, even if it's not their own team, like if you're a professional athlete, you cannot bet on sports, right? Can anyone in any sport bet on? Can any NFL player bet on 49ers Rams on Sunday? No, they cannot.
Okay.
Could the Yankees, when they're out of the playoffs, bet on the Red Sox to win or lose? They cannot. It is illegal for someone in sports to bet on sports. How is it that politicians are allowed to invest in the stock market?
Because it's a crooked system. Always has been.
But like today, I don't know if
the rich get richer. This is everybody's gripe. I don't know if
you realize what's going to go down in.
To answer your question, it's not right. It's not right, but it's just always been. It's sort of
not
these
right.
ways of thinking have been grandfathered in. This is
But
what
it's okay.
I
the
don't
whole
know.
problem of F you to the man.
I don't know.
This is why people want to stick it to the man.
I don't know if you guys realize what's going down in an hour from right now, and
The crypto
my
stuff?
butthole's a little tight because of it. Unlike the early 2000s, right?
Phew, that's a change.
Jerome Powell speaking. The Feds have some announcements and stuff in about an hour. And the fact that the announcements that Powell makes in an hour from right now, the fact that the announcements he makes is either going to have the sentiment of the market rebound and bounce back a little bit, or it could dive into another 10 to 20% correction, some are saying. So in an hour, whatever statistics and leanings and whatever people are saying, right? Whatever Powell says is going to have the market to recover from the dip we just took.
So wait.
Or
Beyond now, because it looks like it's on an uptick.
yeah, it's on an uptick this morning, right?
Yeah.
But at 2 and 2:30, there's some meetings, right? The rates are going to go up, but we don't know, Mauser, we don't know what else is going to happen, right? So at 2 or 2:30, you're going to see major fucking fluctuations, whether the market's like, okay, the sentiment is, all right, it's going to go rebound a little bit. Or at 2:30 Eastern today, we're going to hear some news that, as my dad calls it, the big boys are going to say, let's get out. Now, some people said the market's already been driven down to where it is now, because what happens? The market gets driven down, scared money sells, and who scoops up all the low shares?
The rich.
The rich. And the richest get richer.
Eat the rich,
The poor get poorer, and the middle class and the upper middle class is like, they're like the shrugging Indian emoji. So my point is, if all the people, there's so much insider shit of people that know what's going to be said spot in an hour from now. You ever see the people that analyze Nancy Pelosi's portfolios? And it's like, you could publicly find it out, but it's like, these people, to say that you don't think they have insider information,
Of course they do.
is insane.
I mean, they have insider information. They have influence.
It's
not fair. It's not okay. It's not okay.
It's
Not right, but it's okay.
But again, we're comparing apples and oranges. What's not okay in sports doesn't necessarily translate to.
I mean, Andrew, the market is inflated. It's due for
not
a
okay
correction,
with
but hasn't
government.
the correction happened over the last month and a half? I mean, it's a natural correction would already happen. It's not called a depression or a recession unless it hits a certain percentage. Right now, we're in correction territory, right? It's been the worst January in the market in years and years and years, they said.
Try not to look, to be honest.
So,
it's really depressing.
The point is, if shit's going to go down in about an hour,
Should I get on the phone with Moneymaker Mike?
and I'm saying, and there's people on the inside that could probably find out what the hell's going down. How should those people?
Mike, wait until like 2:30.
How should
You're on it? Okay, good.
How should those people be able to be involved?
They shouldn't be. That's the issue.
Your dad's right. People in Congress get the tips, and here we rot paying $8.99 for a gallon of milk. Yo, I'm not saying anything.
Man, you got a deal.
I mean,
I'm not saying anything that you're not already thinking, but it's just
listen
so wild
listen
that
to a Rage Against the Machine song.
an athlete can't gamble on sports, but a politician could gamble on the biggest stakes there
They're
are.
crooked. We know that.
Yeah, but
It's a
why
great-
are we okay with it?
Nobody is. I feel like you're just thinking about it right now.
But
I
we
think
elect
that's what-
officials. We
That's
could
what
help
people
make
hate
we
about
could help.
government and politics and politicians, period. That's probably one of the biggest gripes that people have. Like I said, listen to any anti-government band. It's shit they sing about all the time. Did you know that some of those who work forces are the same that burn crosses? Did you know
Dude,
that?
I know. Like the market's looking fantastic today.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
But you know what? Like, for instance, the stocks move high. The first Wall Street Journal article that pops up from an hour ago. Stocks moving higher ahead of the Fed's meeting today at 2 p.m. Eastern. A guide to the Fed meeting. What's going to happen? Is it going to tame inflation? And if it tames inflation, will the market rebound? Or are we due for another 10 to 20% correction more? We don't know. But guess who does know? Somebody knows. And you know what that somebody's doing?
Moneymaker Mike.
I know it's illegal.
He knows.
But come on. You're going to be like, well, they can't do that. That's illegal. But you don't think someone's like, Tell your friend and your buddy and people that are not so. They're not going to tell they're not the ones that like if someone right now like traded $100,000 or something.
The only advantage an athlete has is when he tips his friend off and he says something stupid about like, yeah, the Gatorade is blue. Just so you know.
The national anthem is 1 minute and 40 seconds. Take the over.
Bill, I was there in the sound check. Yeah, Whitney Houston, yeah, she, it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Exactly. That's the only advantage they have in sports.
Now,
when they tip their friends off on these stupid prop bets.
Right, Chelofel says it's impossible for politicians not to be able to benefit from the policies they make. And anyone that thinks, oh, Trump, it's Biden too, it's Clinton, it's Bush, it's anyone. Imagine if you said, all right, I'm going to sign this infrastructure deal, which is going to be good for this sector. All you would
well, in other words, Powell, whatever he's about to say today, he already knows what he's going to say, right?
So he knows
what all his minions and lemmings probably prepared him on what he's going to say. And it's like a pyramid scheme right then and there, because then they go telling their friends. And
Mauser's right. That's why
it's good to know important
That's why
people.
the GameStop pop last year was stopped because it was the first time that the big boys didn't have control. It's like, wait, all the little people are pumping a stock?
So, I mean, everybody knows this, but it's going down today. It's not fair, but life's not fair.
It's wild. It's 100% both sides. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Clinton, Bush, Reagan, anyone, all they knew, they could be like, all right, well, let's see. I'm going to make this oil deal. I'm going to make this fracking deal. I'm using words I don't know, so don't oil fracking. But all they need to know is like, all right, so we're going to sign it. Oh, it's getting passed in Congress and the Senate. Okay.
What the frack?
What the frack? They know that before the public. And I know it's illegal, but then how do things start shifting right before announcements? Does that make sense?
Of course.
So I just think they're
criminals.
Yeah, they're all criminals.
They're white-collared legal criminals.
Well,
they're
Andrew
the
Hart,
ones making the laws.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong as always, Andrew Hart. Both parties are corrupt, no doubt. David Castillo. I hope I'm making sense and I'm not just boring you guys. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm saying like
people in power.
People in power that make these decisions are in the loop before other people. And if you don't think they're tipping off people here and there in ways that can't be found, look at their portfolios and tell me why these people that are public officials, even the ones that don't have book deals, all have millions. I can understand why every president should be a multimillionaire. Book deals, they're for the fucking president. There's been 45 ever. But like a congressperson from some random place shouldn't be loaded. All right, I'm done.
No, I mean, it's a frustrating reality that I think everybody understands. We just accept it. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it okay, because it's not. As we look at our portfolios and they're just going to the shitter. They're making money moves.
Dude, I've lost like tens of thousands of dollars. Every week I feel like I'm losing tens of thousands of dollars. I'm looking and I just laugh. I go, haha. I keep saying what you say. And you make me, you convince me. So thank you. Covino's like, dude, if you're not selling, don't panic right now. And that put me in a better mindset. I'm like, yeah, I'm not selling. So don't relax. Yeah, relax. Everything bounces back.
It sucks for the people who were about to sell.
Yeah, if you're buying a house or you're buying a car or you're retiring.
Or needed that money anytime now and in the near future.
Yeah, but if you have no need for that money now, then I guess don't panic. So anyway.
It's all about the long game.
I have a question that has nothing to do with this. Let's move on, if that's cool with you. And move on and fucking hit George Bell.
Wrecked him. I have a question for you.
Yeah, by the way, Adam makes a great point. Politicians probably do little tips to like family of family. Like that's
Obviously.
that's who gets it.
Obviously.
Yeah, it would be obvious if if some senator was like, wow, it's weird. Today he bought hundreds of thousands of dollars in this biotech company. Wait, they just got a deal for COVID testing? Like, you can't do that.
Know?
And by the way, did you see the funny thing where it's like all those free tests that Biden is sending out for everyone were made in China?
China.
I didn't see that. Yet there's U.S. companies that make COVID tests, but the ones that are the free ones everyone got, China.
They need to make it fast.
I know.
Quick
all right.
and cheap.
Anyway.
By the way, don't expect to get those for like another like.
People are getting them already.
No, they're arriving in the masks are arriving in stores.
Oh, I thought you said the test.
You said I did.
Oh, I said masks.
No, you said the people are getting them already. I'm saying people are getting the masks are arriving. The free tests to the home.
Yeah.
It's like going through the USPS. It's going to take a while.
Oh, I heard someone said they got it already.
Who?
I don't know, because that's how people are noticing they are made in China.
Yeah. I doubt they're gonna sometimes I order free.
The Terrio brothers are working double time, bro.
I order free.
Marlo already delivered 8 million, she said.
The post office will send you free packages, boxes, envelopes, anything like priority mail, all that stuff because I use it for the candles. They'll send it to you. You can order it online. I have to anticipate like 3 months ahead of what I'm gonna need.
Yeah.
Because that's how long it will take to send me 45 padded envelopes.
Yeah, my friend Jeanette, on a side note, she sent out her wedding invites. And yesterday I hit her up. I go, I got your wedding invite. It's beautiful. I was just being a nice friend. She goes, I sent that 5 weeks ago. I go, you sent me? I was like, you should fucking call your guests then, because I mean, I'm not in Siberia. I'm in California.
Right. So I stand corrected. They're arriving.
Should I send my Christmas cards for next year now, just in case?
Everyone got them yesterday.
All
yeah,
right,
people.
well.
That's what I'm saying. People are getting them. That's why they're saying, Spot, oh, look, they're made in China. And by the way, Stu Hotwagner said 75% plus of Americans agree in polls that politicians should not be able to trade stocks. It just makes sense to me. It's like, sometimes you work for something, you can't do something. Right? I have a question that has nothing to do.
Maybe mine are wait. You know what? Let me check my daily digest from the USPS.
Something that has
See
nothing.
if I have a package arriving.
Something that has nothing to do with COVID or fights or anything, Covino.
Nothing.
So I'm flying to a wedding in March.
Okay.
And
Boy, are your arms tired.
Is it Jeanette's?
Janate's wedding in Hotlanta.
How did I know?
I got the wedding invite yesterday.
Oh, that's how.
No, but I was like, all right, let me look now. It's time. It's a couple months out. Let me book tickets. So I'm booking tickets to go to this wedding in Atlanta. What's up, Chris Rucker? You can buy me a coffee? I said, Sarah, who do I know in Atlanta that I'd want to see for like a drink or a coffee? Because we have like a day to kill before we have to go.
Waffle House, bro.
I was like, yeah, maybe I'll go to Waffle House with.
Isn't the Peruvian prince out there?
Maybe I'll go with. I think he's just an Atlanta fan. Does he live in that area?
He's a man
I think Roe, our buddy
I imagine
Roe.
he has many properties.
Yeah, I feel like Roe's like winter residence is in Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
He did take us to the city of Magic.
Yeah, that is true. Magic City.
Go to Magic City for wings.
Spend the afternoon there because I told Sarah. I said,
Sarah, you got to try these wings.
We're getting there, Shinfo, but we're getting there a day before other people because we're coming from the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be able to check out of a hotel at noon.
Mm-hmm.
But all our friends arrive, and we're gonna rent a van to drive to this wedding. So we have like noon to 3, where you have to check out of a hotel. So we have like a 3-hour window. I'm like, hey, we'll go for a nice lunch. Who do we know in Atlanta? And I was like, oh, Chris Rucker, that sucker. Roe.
Marquise Grissom.
Yeah, who else? Freddie Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hang out with Freddie Freeman.
He's there for now.
Oh, Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I'll take Sarah to
REM.
I'll take Sarah to Magic City. Sounds like a good idea. Remember I left there smelling like fucking cocoa butter and weed. All right. So I'm booking my travel, and here's what the answer is obvious, but I'm just curious what your limit is. I'm only going to fly direct. That makes no sense. You don't want to transfer, right? Try to make a quick trip. I'm not going to miss work or anything. I'm just going for a couple days. Now,
you know what I say to connecting flights, right?
Get the fuck out. Oh, you got so big.
Hey, go Hey,
look at you.
Oh,
Get
it's
the fuck
cheaper
out.
Connecting flight.
Get the fuck out.
I don't have time for that. No, I hate that. I took a connecting flight recently. I was like, it's the worst. It was my only option.
Let me tell you what connecting...
man, fuck out of here. Hey, how you doing? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
That's Covino.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, you got so big. Fuck out of here.
That's what
Connecting flights.
It's Covino at a family reunion.
You got so big.
Fuck out of here.
Hey, got so big. Get the
Hey, fuck out of here.
You know why I hate connecting flights? Double the anxiety. Nothing about like safety. Just like that means 2 planes could be late, 2 planes could be fucking annoying.
You double the risk on everything.
You double the risk on like delays, cancellations. You delay, you double your odds of shit.
You put your faith in this pilot. Now you have to put your faith in the other pilot.
But not only that, it's like every time you're on the plane, you could be on the plane. They're like, all right, well, there's someone on the runway. It's like, well, am I going to make the connector? I don't need the nervous farts.
You're worried about, you're worried about making the first flight. You're worried about making the second flight.
And then if you do the connecting deal, then you got to do the whole like, well, I don't want to be too cocky and book the connector where it leaves 30 minutes after I get there, but I don't want to be sitting in the airport for 4 hours. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey.
But here's where it's not a dilemma because you'll be like, all right, pretentious. All the flights. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you got so big. Fuck out of here.
Love that guy. Who is that guy? So I'm looking up the flights. It's not a little difference. It's a lot. Round trips from LA to Atlanta, roughly $4 right? Each. Understandable. $150 round trip.
Name 4 bills right now. 4 bills. Go.
Bill O'Reilly, Bill Clinton, Bill Walsh, and my grandfather, Bill Dempsey.
Oh, yeah. By the way, is it his birthday today?
Yes. Happy birthday.
Happy
97th in heaven.
97.
My
wow.
grandfather would have been 97 today.
Look at that.
Bill Dempsey.
4 bills. That was great. I'm proud of you for that one.
Improv, bro. It's my years at Groundlings.
That was good, though, no? Name 4 bills? That was good.
Listen, by the way, it's amazing. I'm trying to teach my daughter not to be a fucking groundling, but
Vito's Uncle Bill.
I'm trying to teach my daughter to think on her feet. Side note, only because a lot of times you ask a lot of kids like, hey, name something. Like, I don't know. I'm like, Emmy, I never want you to answer, I don't know. I want you to use your head. You're a really smart little kid. So I'll be like, name an animal. I always test her. I'm like, all right, name 3 that, because I feel like a skill in life is a lot of people are like, I don't know. I fucking hate I don't know people.
I'm an I don't know guy.
Like Spot. Like,
I freeze up. I don't want to play this
I
game.
go like this. I shrug.
I freeze. My brain shuts down.
don't know. No.
like Noah's always a great game that I loved. I thought it was a good. As far as old annoying games, I used to think Categories was a good brain buster.
Oh, I love categories. I would always do well.
All right, so not Southwest. I'm fine with Southwest. Spirit Airlines.
4 bills for Spirit?
No, 150 round trip.
Don't do it.
So wait, hold on. Hold on.
Might as well take Soul Plane.
Wait, hold on.
Hey, $9 shoes.
Hey,
Come
Spot.
on.
Mike.
You're not
Hump
doing.
day.
You're not poor.
Spot, $800 for, let's say, United or JetBlue. 800, that's 2 $400 tickets. So Sarah and I, $800 versus
Fuck poor people.
$300 on Spirit Airlines. I book Spirit Airlines. Oh my God. Because I feel like if it's terrible, I'll at least have a story for you guys.
How many hours is this flight?
It's a 4-hour flight.
Are you bringing clothes?
Spot, I know. A check bag is $35. I already looked.
Are you
We're
bringing-
one check bag because it's Sarah and I we're gonna share we always share one check bag.
Are you do the right thing here?
Are you wearing a diaper? I feel like they charge you to use the toilet.
Use the bathroom? Yeah, water. Yeah.
Spirit Airlines has a bad rep. We know this, and they charge you for every little thing.
Do you
along
want
the way.
oxygen?
But 800.
I know Spirit's the worst, but 800 versus 300. I'm talking 4. It was 3. I'll give you the exact numbers.
I'm sorry.
I'll give you the exact numbers.
Did you reserve a seat? Because the
No, I
seat
didn't.
is actually extra.
I didn't reserve.
No,
the
I
seat.
mean like an actual seat on the plane.
Yeah.
If
You have to
Sarah's
stand
cool with
if you
this,
don't.
then and I
At
think
first,
it's fine.
Sarah was like, Spirit. And I said, when I gave her the numbers, 397 is the exact number. It was 397 times 2. So you're looking at 790 something versus it was 309 or something like that for 2 tickets on Spirit round trip.
I'm ashamed to know you.
That's a $500
Really?
difference.
You're
Bob.
getting a lot of the similar feedback. I could see it here. Spirit Airlines, really?
But you would have spent
Yeah, but
500. If
500
you have
extra?
5, then you guys should.
What do you got,
You
like
guys should all give
Royal ass
donations
cheeks?
here. Yeah. What do you?
You need your ass cheeks need special treatment.
No, Spot. We're not flying to Nicaragua on a 12-hour flight. We're not flying
4 hours.
we're not flying. We're flying 4 hours.
So you're gonna rough it for 4
and
hours,
Spot.
but save $500.
Why didn't you was there a connector that was cheaper?
You would take a connector over.
Yes.
I think Rich did the right thing.
Yes.
Man, I really do. I'm
Spirit
not jumping on
Airlines?
this.
Thanks, buddy.
No way. He saved $500. Dude has a big ass mortgage to pay, right?
$500 is half of Emmy's school bill a month.
Again, that's a week of groceries.
$500.
That's a week of Taco Bell for this guy.
poor?
Yeah, kind of. I lost a lot of
Fuck
money.
poor people.
This guy didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I
He
lost money.
a significant amount.
I lost
But
money.
still,
I'm not,
he's still,
I'm not
but
making.
no, I mean compared to you.
I'm not making what I was making
But
before,
compared to
before the
him-
pandemic.
compared
Before
to
the
him.
pandemic, I was making more money than I'm making now for
he
sure.
He lost a full-time
I lost
ESPN
ESPN.
gig,
But compared to him, you're doing better.
and he's making less as Sirius XM.
And I don't even think he would fly Spirit.
I think I would in this case. $500, dude. That's a big amount. That's a car payment.
Could I?
But
I give you the-
Sarah just spent $700 on pillows.
Exactly. That's our betting. So,
But that
Okay.
is the balance. Like you got to balance things out
but I
wherever
don't-
you can.
all right, now every time Sarah and I go somewhere with the kids, Ben and Emmy,
You know what
it's
I-
a hassle.
You know what
Sarah
I
and I were
say-
like,
you know
this
what I
is
say to
this is
Spirit?
Sarah and
How you
I.
doing? How's your mom? Fuck out of here.
Yay.
Hey, how you doing? Fuck out of here.
That's how they. By the way, that's how they
Greet you.
No, that's how they send you off the plane.
Yeah, Rich can't cheap out when his kids are there. Everyone has to be comfortable. So
thank you
he's
for-
overpaying
But
all the
Sarah-
time.
Thank you for flying Spirit.
Well,
Fuck out of here.
Thank you for flying, eh?
Fuck out of here.
Thank you.
Fuck out of here. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you got so big. Fuck out of here.
That's how they greet you.
No, that's how they send you off the plane.
I mean, I'm amazed.
It's like bye bye, but they
You
send
know
you
what?
fuck
When I think when people talk certain ways, I'm like, they must just not travel that often. So like they want to have a great experience every time they fly. We fly so much over our careers and lives and everything that to me, I look at it like,
I used to anyway.
yeah, I look at it like a $500 difference. We're not flying with kids.
By the way, did you pay?
We're not flying internationally. We're not flying across the country. It's a 4-hour flight. That's 3 episodes of a show I could watch on my phone or something like that. And the chair's gonna be uncomfortable, but is it really much more? Is it that much more
Did you
uncomfortable
pay-
than a fucking sitting in row 20 something on United or JetBlue?
Did you pay for the window?
I didn't even choose a seat.
No, I mean like the actual window, because if you don't, then they don't put it in.
I don't.
No,
like
you have to
looking-
pay to lift it up.
I don't like looking out the window anyway.
There's a coin slot if you
No,
want.
no, no. There's
look
just a
out the
whole
window.
like everyone has to pay for the window seat to actually install the window, so you don't get sucked out.
People are hating on this, man. I'm
I
surprised
just-
by the
this is-
overwhelming amount of people saying you cheaped out.
Yeah, I thought everyone would say
$500. Are you
I
serious?
thought everyone would say that's the right move.
I think so. I think anytime you're shopping for flights, you're looking for
Kyle's
the cheapest deal.
saying, yeah, it's like 10% less comfortable, but 70% cheaper. What are people like?
gotta weigh
Jason
it
Brown
out.
is right. $500 is $500. That's a lot of money extra. Sarah and I made the decision that we were
Yeah,
like,
if it was closer,
if
then-
it was like 2 tickets for $400 each, and Southwest was $250 each, then I would have said, all right, we'll fly the other. But we're talking.
I live by the.
You just have $500 to throw where it just doesn't
I
matter to
live
you.
by the where there's smoke, there's fire. You hear enough Spirit Airlines stories to know that it's just not going to be a good experience.
That is true, and maybe that's why you're getting all this negative feedback here. Because you do hear nightmares. It's almost a joke. What was the first thing I said?
Hey,
Oh,
why
it's
don't you
as good
use
as Soul
your-
Plane.
Why don't you use your card miles?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saving this for a special occasion. They don't expire.
Money's money. Cards.
How long is the flight, Franz? It is a 4-hour flight.
From LA to Hotlanta.
Hotlanta, yeah. That's
And it's just
500.
him
Yeah,
and Sarah.
honestly, that's $500 I could pop into crypto or something else that's dipping. I could see what happens today in a half hour.
You sacrifice.
I would rather invest
4
in
hours
myself.
of comfort.
In my comfort.
Yeah, but are you guys is everyone that listens to our show a Buxton?
No, that's why everybody's broke.
Maybe so.
I'm serious.
How often do you travel?
That's $500 I could spend at Magic City on cheeks and wings. People, I really am confused by people's priorities.
Fuck poor people.
I agree.
Fuck cheap people.
Motel 6 in the skies.
Uh-oh.
Bree says.
Fly, yeah, guys. Oh yeah, look, even like a guy like Keith Velez. What the fuck is wrong with you, Spirit Airlines? No offense, like
$500.
Is Keith Velez like the CEO of a company? Like,
That's
what
the
is he?
difference.
Oh, he wants to talk to you. Can I call him?
Yeah, I would love to hear.
Oh,
his
by the
take
way,
on it.
this actually leads into something great. So
Hold on. Hold on.
By the way, and so many people,
phone.
so many people sleep on planes. So many people watch a show. Like honestly,
I'll sleep. I'll sleep with the chickens, like Indiana Jones, if it's that much cheaper. Especially if it's just me. If it's me, I don't think I'm anybody special where I have to be in first class or some extra comfortable seat. I really don't. I'll sleep with the The livestock on the bottom.
I'm saving money for.
If I'm saving that much money,
I'm saving money for important things like investments and like life and shit like that. Not a fucking quick flight to go see my friend at a wedding. Like, I don't think that it's not like.
That's why I said if Sarah was cool with it, then
it's not like me and Sarah
fine.
going. If Sarah and I were going on some cool vacation together, that's not the option. But Sarah and I are going to a friend's wedding weekend.
How often do you go away?
Quite a bit.
No, you drive to Texas.
Yeah, but
I'm saying like how often do you go away? You haven't been away in forever.
You talk about the pandemic, so it's an unfair question.
Yeah, but you're pissing $500 away. What is he getting out of it?
Yeah, what am I getting out of that $500? Real that much more that much more $500 worth of comfort? EJ Reed, I'm with you. Get the fuck out of here. You think there's $500 more comfort in that seat?
No way.
If you told
For
me I was
4 hours?
if you told me I was in the JetBlue if you told me I was in that front section of JetBlue where they're like beds, that's one thing. But $500 difference in your mind?
No way. I'm on your side on this.
I mean, it's not $500 per ticket. It's $500 total.
So
it's
what?
$250 a ticket. It's $250 more of comfort. Yes.
Times two.
It's
still times two.
Right. But so you're each getting. So you don't care about your wife's comfort?
No,
That's
I don't.
why I said if it's okay with Sarah, then because I think the answer is so obvious if it was just Rich.
I just spent $1,000 on a shot in the arm and fucking
That's your fault.
steroids. Is it my fault?
What do you mean?
It's my fault that I've 2 bulging discs.
Didn't you do something to have them bulge?
I mean, it's years of wear. It wasn't. Yes, I pinched a nerve, but like,
I agree with I agree with JC in Kentucky, who I love. JC, you know I love you. He said, I just flew through Atlanta, worst airport. I agree. Atlanta's like the worst airport. I'm happy I'm not connecting through Atlanta. That's yeah, maybe I'll sit on the wing. Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Actually, my dad makes a good point. That's $500 that could be used
That's
for
the wedding. That's what I was
gift.
going to give as the wedding gift. So perfect. I was thinking, what do we give? $500.
Now it all
right?
bounces out
$500 wedding gift.
for a close friend.
Yeah, a lifelong friend.
Because that would sound like a lot.
Yeah,
to
no, a
me.
lifelong friend.
Yeah.
This is someone I've known since I'm a little boy.
I'm gonna pay for Sarah's seat on a nice plane.
You know what? Do it, Spot. I'll fly by myself. You know what? And I'll use.
Sarah, you're flying first class.
Rich is sitting with Short Round and Indiana Jones under the plane.
You're talking about a guy that used to sit. I'm talking to a guy here. He used to sit on a case of fucking chocolate cow.
Sarah's getting a nice. what was the other? What was the other airline? The other airline option?
Soul Plane.
I'll show you right now. You want? Let's.
What was the other airline option?
I'm not going to be an annoying guy, but hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly.
Sarah's
what it
getting a
was.
seat on United.
No, hold on. Let's play it out because I'm very quick on this, so it won't matter. Here we go. L.A. to Atlanta, Thursday night, March 17th. Coming back Sunday morning, March 20th. A Thursday night to a Sunday morning. Search flights. Here we go. Kayak. Just doing what everyone else does, like a search engine, right? All right, let me take away Spirit. Take away Spirit. Boom. Now,
Boom.
So, all right, ready? Here we go. Time.
Turducken.
I have to leave later in the day because I'm doing the show with you guys, right? So, boom. Now, I got to leave early Sunday morning, so let me adjust that because I have to come back for Fox. Done. Here we go. Cheapest flight. Oh, cheapest flight. $439 per person now. $439.
Which airline?
It's Delta there, American back.
All right. Sarah, you're flying Delta.
Oh, and that doesn't even
It's a waste of money, Spot.
that doesn't even, yeah, those times do work. Okay. So 439 times 2. What's that? 880. Spirit, I bought yesterday.
Technically, it's $878.
$878. $2.
Okay.
Thanks, Tony Reale. $878, and I spent $309 yesterday. $569.
Wait, $309 total?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
$569 difference. Mike Hapner, 4 hours is too long to sacrifice comfort?
I can't
Who
wait.
are
You know what?
people?
I'm
What is
excited.
going on here?
I'm excited to
It's
hear
the
about the
entitlement.
misery that you feel.
It's the entitlement of today's person.
And you, by the way, I want a full honest recap. I don't want you to be like, be in misery and like have all this shit happen to you and ignore it because you don't want to look bad.
The only thing I'm
Actually,
going to do.
I'm glad you're humble when it comes to some stuff
the week
like that.
the week of the airline, the week I take the flight, I'm gonna book a backup flight that I could cancel because Spirit Airlines' only criticism is that they do cancel flights here and there. So I'm going to book a backup flight
Just
that
in
I
case.
could cancel for free through my credit card.
Good.
Just as a backup plan.
Yeah.
But to tell me that 4 hours, the shittiest plane chair can't be that much shittier than the second shittiest plane chair. When you have those cloth seats at like United or Delta, like, oh, you're in row 17F. Like, is that chair that much? What do people think I'm going to be sitting on metal spikes?
I hope not.
I can't. Rich will know after you fly Spirit. I think Southwest sucks my balls, and I'm still okay with it.
Jason in Tampa wants to say.
Oh, hi, Jason in Tampa.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, Jason.
Hold on, Jason.
I forgot I still had that on loop.
Thanks for flying Spirit. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
What's up, Jason?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, so I feel like we had this conversation when it came to hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And like years ago, like where you were staying for the night, right? If you were just passing through a city, or if you were traveling from one coast to the next and you were driving, right? Like, would you spend an extra $200 for a bed? You know, like if you go to a Motel 6 or a Hotel 6, whatever they're called, right? Like, would you rather spend that extra money, to sleep in a bed for what, 6-7 hours?
Nope.
To get up the next morning and keep going?
Unless you're with your lady, right?
Dude,
unless you're on a company's expense.
No, and if you're with your lady, it also depends on if you're single and you're trying to impress versus you two being reasonable adults together. When Sarah and I went to Texas on our road trip, we stopped in El Paso and we stopped in Scottsdale. Like, we'd stop along the way. We would find like a Holiday Inn Express for like $100.
Don't you dare shit on Holiday Inn Expresses. I love them.
No, and I love it. I could have been like, babe, we're staying at the Marriott for $300 something. No, we stayed at Holiday Inn Express with the kids. Fucking, you can have. It doesn't. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and be fine. It doesn't mean you should just waste money for no reason, right?
Same thought.
Yes. So, real quick before you guys let me go. Case in point, when we were out in Vegas, right? We were out in Vegas for the weekend. When we checked into our hotel, right? We, it's like, all right, yeah, we'll take whatever room you have. They put us in a room with a Murphy bed, right? A fold-out bed, and the room was like the size of somebody's closet. And they asked us, hey, do you guys want to upgrade for like $200 for the rest of the week? Of course, that made sense because I don't want to spend my time in Vegas, sleeping on a fold-out couch. So we upgraded, but.
Oh, so you went from the Charlie Murphy bed to the Eddie Murphy bed?
Yeah. Charlie Murphy to the Eddie Murphy,
Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy.
Well, Charlie Murphy's not successful.
Yeah, you got it. But I agree. There's times where the upgrade makes sense. Like, there are times where I've seen, when you do the check-in on the kiosk, and it's like, hey, you could upgrade to first class for $70.
I'm like, nope.
Yeah, but that's a thought. This is not like upgrade for $70. This is a $500 difference. The end. That's
Save your money.
$500.
Be humble. Stop being so wasteful. Everybody is very entitled and wasteful.
My seat's going to be, this is funny, Bree, my seat's going to be a barrel of hay with a rope as a seatbelt.
I mean, those are all funny jokes. I saw Kevin Perkins. What's up, Kevin? Heard him say people are going to come, instead of luggage, they're going to have trash bags.
I'm going to tell, by the way,
Spirit Airlines.
Should I tell Sarah that I actually changed flight? We're flying Con Air with Nick Cage. It's going to be a bunch of criminals, honey, in cages and us on a bench.
Well, this leads to another question.
Cyrus Grissom.
But Adam's right, though, by the way. Everyone acts like they're fucking Joe Millionaire throwing around cash with no long game.
I agree. That's everyone. It's like hobos in LA with cell phones.
You're such a
everyone needs to know.
I'm going to throw that
$500
in crypto instead. And you know what?
Oh, so that's okay. You're such a hypocrite.
How is that a hypocrite? I'm a smart I'm a long game guy.
A long game guy who looks at his stocks every day to see if he's
I'm a long game guy as far as investments.
So funny. So funny how you justify certain things and like ignore others.
Give me the things I ignore.
You throw money around in the market. You bet on things.
Throw money around in the market.
Spend $800 at Target.
He prioritizes. Wait, buys $9 shoes.
No. Hold on. This you just named three things. Hold on. I love it because you're wrong on all these things.
Bring it, Rich.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Bring it.
All right. I wrote them down because I want to.
You wrote them down. You're really gonna destroy me now.
Okay. Gamble. How much money do you think I win or lose a year when I gamble?
You usually break even, but that's luck.
It's not luck. Luck would be if I won. You usually end up breaking even. I'm probably
because you lose and then you balance it out with a win. So
I'm probably down a little this year, but that's entertainment and fun. That's not. gambling is not breaking the bank on anything I'm doing. Now, you said something else. What was it?
bro.
Throw money at the market. I would, without, I mean, what I'm in right now, bad news. But I'd be pretty proud to tell people if it mattered how much money I made this year in the market before things went bad. And that's why I'm going to get fucked in tax time this year. It's not throwing, is throwing money at the market a bad move when you're making money? Isn't that a good move?
You made money, but before things went bad, did you sell? Because
Yes.
if not,
How do you think I bought this fucking house?
I'm saying, didn't you lose a shit ton of money recently?
Well, investing your money
Recently,
wisely,
yes.
right, which is what he tries to do.
I made the equivalent
Investing
of a lot
your
of people's
money-
salaries this year in the stock market.
Investing your money is traditionally a responsible thing.
Yeah, investing your money.
If you're doing it
and-
responsibly.
And money at Target. How much did you spend for your bedding for your family's house and for your curtains, pillows, and bedding? What do you spend? $100? You have a bed in a bag? You're a 40-year-old man. You have a bed in a bag? What do you have? Nice stuff.
But it,
My wife went to Target. She
not
didn't even go to like.
an isolated incident. I'm sure you spend a lot of money all the time on certain things.
Actually, I'm amazed how little money I've learned to spend.
Oh, and Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is an expense. That
Taco
is true,
Bell is
yeah.
a huge expense, a huge monthly expense.
But
We spend at
whoever
least
said
like
it, I gotta
That's
give
why he has holes in
I
his
gotta
shoes.
give a high five to the person that said that. I forgot who it was, but they were like, yeah, everyone thinks they're It's Adam, I think. Everyone spends money, and then they're gonna be working when they're 80 years old, or living like hobos in the
Mike
streets.
Hapner, I wasn't calling him out specifically. He goes, it's not entitlement. He says his girlfriend always books these flights. He goes, I'm just spoiled big time. Once you go first class, you can't go back. I mean, spoiled, entitlement, what's the difference really? You have this expectation now, or, people feel like they deserve that shit. Either way, there's ways to save some money, and what he chooses to do with it is really his own business, to be honest.
I'm just amazed that someone would say, "Can you say
BJ Reed.
if you save $500,
$500
what would you
I'd
rather
rather
do?
save $500
Would you rather? Would you rather put
else.
$500 in Ethereum or Mana or Bitcoin, or buy some small cap stocks that are that at their fucking like 5-year low? Do you rather do that and make an investment, or fucking sit comfortably
for 4
hours?
Why can't I do both?
You can't do both.
So all I have is $500.
But
in this story,
in this circumstance, where is this $500 better spent? Sitting in a slightly more comfortable seat, or putting your money in the stock market or crypto world, or upgrading your home or something like that?
I've been smart with my money and my life, and I have I'm a dual income, no kids. So you know what? I can do both. So in this story, I'm doing both.
Yeah, but you're the guy that when you give them a this or that, they're like, whoa, and you change the fucking story. The story
If
was,
I were poor and living paycheck to paycheck, yes, Rich, I would be flying Spirit.
your dad makes
You're
a great
not poor
point.
and you don't live paycheck to paycheck. Be a man.
Your dad brings up a great point. The average person is $155,000 in debt.
and this is probably why.
Yeah, it's why.
It's
people
either
are like,
spoiled or entitlement
Yeah.
or whatever else. You got to make sacrifices here and there if you want those fucking expensive jeans.
If I were if you were not sitting there and I was talking to a friend that I had that was living paycheck to paycheck, this would be a different conversation.
Yeah, but you don't know how much money I'm fucking making and spending and having, and you don't know how it all adds up for me. When are you going to spend the $500? You can't take it with you.
He's going to give that as the wedding gift. So
Yeah, and
that's
then you
$500
could,
he
then
would
you
have
could
had.
also then you could also say, look at that, I've just allocated $500. Now I don't have to worry about a wedding gift. There you go, 500 buckaroos. Buckaroo. How do you know the market will succeed? Well, Alex Berman, over the last 150 years, or however long the market's been around, it goes through its ups and downs. But if the market crashes, then you're gonna fucking live in a communist country. China took over.
It's funny though because most people are agreeing with Spot. To be fair,
no one's agreeing with me. That's
most
okay.
people were.
I
Everyone
don't think
was
so.
jumping on the Spirit Airlines. Like, grow up. Are you serious?
I know, it's funny.
That was 90% of the feedback that I saw again from this YouTube live feed that we have on Patreon. If you're on the Discord or the Daccord or on Facebook,
Discord
on the text messages, it might be different. So who knows? But we appreciate you guys listening here. Covino and Rich. This leads to something else that I saw on Aziz Ansari's new special.
Oh.
And it made me think. He tells this whole story about how...
Is it worth watching, by the way? It's quick, right?
It's 25
Very
minutes.
quick.
It's
Yeah,
great.
It's a quick watch. If you're triggered by the topic of COVID, do not watch it.
It's 90% COVID
It's
related.
90%
And
COVID.
Aaron Rodgers is a dummy, and people who don't get vaccinated are stupid. And I thought it was funny. It was funny if you still have a sense of humor. You know, like that thing we used to have, like humor.
Oh yeah.
If you still have that a little bit and you could take a joke, it's funny. But he talks about how he's at a party. Actually, he establishes first that all of his friends and everybody in entertainment have a side hustle. He's like, Drake. Like hey Drake, tell me about your new song. He's like, I don't want to talk about my new song. I want to talk about my new mortgage company I got going on or something. Whatever he says, Everybody has a side hustle. Everybody has some sort of vodka that they're invested in. Everybody has something going on that is making them more money. And Aziz is like, he's got nothing. This is what he does, right? So he's at a party and he sees R&B superstar Frank Ocean.
By the way, even my contractor that fixed my house is involved in a alcohol company he's starting with a friend. Like everyone, I don't know one person,
But
that
especially
doesn't have,
a celebrity, right? A celebrity always has their hands in something
but
else.
I'm convinced that everyone's got something secondary, like a little something. Like they could be fucking buying things online and reselling them.
Everybody.
Buying things at TJ Maxx and selling them on eBay.
Everybody. They got, something that they're pushing, which becomes like their main push. He doesn't have that. So he sees Frank Ocean at a party, and Frank Ocean...
What's up, Frank?
No, he's subdued.
It's Frank Ocean.
Right? So...
Subdued disease.
It's he's at the Comedy Cellar, right? In New York? That's where
the Comedy Cellar, sorry. Yeah.
And that was the first place he ever performed comedy, and he's like full circle doing a special on Netflix. 25 minutes, short and sweet. It's fun. He says, Frank, you are hugely successful. You're one of the top names in the industry, but you never really market yourself. You never really tour. You never really perform. You're not, doing any sort of side hustle or anything like that. You don't have a vodka. It's like, how do you do it? Like, what's your secret, man?
Tell me, what's your secret? I want to know.
But think about it. It is. Frank Ocean is just a guy that you barely even see out there. But everybody loves his music.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank Ocean said something that sort of was an epiphany to him. He's like, my secret? Well, my secret is, if you're okay with making less, then that's it. You got to be okay with making less.
Yeah.
And at this time, I guess Frank Ocean was okay with making less.
I think about that with guys like...
Because think about it. He's not touring. He's not selling merchandise every night. He's not invested in this side vodka company. He's not pitching his side mortgage company like Drake or whatever Drake was doing, his insurance thing.
I think people get bored if they don't do these things. That's sort of my theory too, because I thought to myself, Ryan Seacrest, there's a couple factors. First of all, once you set yourself up for a certain type of lifestyle, then becomes money involved to maintain that lifestyle. But if you're a guy like Ryan Seacrest, who probably for a 10+ year period of his life, or more now, obviously, has made tens of millions of dollars a year. Look at fucking...
a lot of that is Kardashian money, too.
Yeah, but
if you guys don't know, he's the executive producer of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I mean, successful in so many ways.
Look at two guys on the opposite side of COVID drama, Rogan and Stern. Guys that make hundreds of millions of dollars, they could, after a couple of years, be like, I'm good, because they won the lottery. Like most people, if you told the average person, if you won $200 million in the Powerball, I'd fucking chill and never work. But if you're Ryan Seacrest or Steve Harvey or someone, I think the biggest motivator would be you'd be bored or you wouldn't feel value in society. I think that's why people do these things. But if you're Frank Ocean, I like that theory.
Well, I think there's two types of people, and that is the people that aren't okay making less. They're good with, with status quo, or they're not good with status quo. And then there's people that are okay with it.
Yeah, but status quo for Frank Ocean, I'm guessing here's the stats. I'm making this up out of my top of my head, but you're thinking like...
Yeah, but look at all the opportunities he probably would have.
You're thinking a guy
but it would
like...
take up all of his time.
You're thinking a guy like Frank Ocean, if he pushed himself, to do deals and this and that.
Course.
He'd make tens of millions of dollars, where Frank Ocean probably makes a few million dollars. And you're thinking, yeah, a few $1 million is just fine. But Frank Ocean's probably saying, $few $1 million? That's good.
And then the punchline was, since then, Frank Ocean opened up some sort of side. What does he do, Spot? Do you remember?
Jewelry.
So, he has a jewelry line. So I guess he wasn't okay with making less money. But that's what it comes down to. Like, the question I'm posing to you based on this story that he told is, are some of you okay just making less? Sometimes it may appear that I am, but I'm not. Deep down, I'm not. When I say it may appear, because I'm very lazy sometimes, and I'm just sitting there. But in my mind, I'm like, fuck this. I got to be making more. And I don't know. I think everybody needs to be on the same page in your business and in your household if you want to become successful. Or you have to be extremely selfish. Like, honestly, Ryan Seacrest had to be extremely selfish of his time and commitments to be who he is.
Well, that's
he was
why
never okay with making less.
That's why.
And neither am I, to be honest.
You know what? I have so many thoughts here.
Are you okay with making less to be comfortable?
Yeah, if you're still comfortable, I'm really agreeing a lot with Kyle today, which is rare. Today I'm having a day where all the people I usually disagree with on the feedback, I'm agreeing with. You can't take it with you is the most annoying quote ever. I agree, because don't you want to leave this earth one day as an old guy? Hopefully you live a nice long life. Live to like 80, 90, 100 years old and be like, goodbye. And know that your kids were left like easily 7+ figures.
I
like
wasted my life.
Generational wealth. Like you don't want to die one day when you're an old guy and be able to give your kids and grandkids and family, like, here's money for you to buy a house and take care of your family. Generational wealth. I don't think it's a matter of like, hey, I'm just going to have the clock tick down and I just need enough money for me to survive until I die.
Peace, I'm out.
I want to make money so that my kids and grandkids have an easier path themselves.
That's what my mom's saying.
Generational wealth. Oh,
my mom chiming in. I worked only to give my kids a better life than what I had.
Yeah, I think I hope to one day be able to leave my kids and grandkids when I'm if I live to be an old guy.
Is there a part of you though? Is the inner struggle that you wished you were okay making less, just so that you could be lazy and be comfortable and not really worry about that shit?
I think I'm accepting less now, to be honest. And
are you happy with that? Because I'm not. I wish I was. I'm not.
I am and not in certain regards.
Here's what I learned in the last year. In other words, in the last year, I learned that I could survive and be comfortable making a lot less. I have a lot more time on my hands as a result too, and I'm bored as fuck. Right? And then when I realize I'm making a lot less and I should be making a lot more, I have an inner struggle that turns into frustration, and it makes me unpleasant to be around. So although I wish I was okay making less, because I've proven that I can be okay and survive making less, I'm not fulfilled. I feel unmotivated, and I don't feel good about that.
Well, you also had a reality check, because you used to say things like,
I'm not okay making less.
You used to think like,
maybe when I'm an older guy.
You used to think what you were making, what people were making was not enough. And I'm like, yo, your perception's off on all this. I do think that at certain times of your life, money means more. Probably when you have kids, because you're trying to pay for different things. But if you told me right now, hey, you got your ESPN gig back, they want you back, but you have to go to downtown LA Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. at night.
Time commitment's a bitch.
I don't know if I'd sign up for it. It would be a major. That would probably, honestly, that would be the biggest internal struggle that you and I would probably have to sit down, not just once, like 10 times over drinks to discuss, because
you would never see your families.
I wouldn't see my kids for bedtime every night, I'd make a ton of money. And then I'm like, well, do you do it for a little while and then say, all right, then
a lot of people do that.
I don't know.
You make money when there's opportunity, and then you sit back and enjoy life. I think you can be okay. You can choose to make less if the reason you're choosing to make less is more important than making more.
Agreed.
And your family, I would argue that
I think time spent is a big
time.
deal.
Time is money.
Time is definitely
you're
money.
choosing to put your time somewhere that rewards you in a different way.
As someone once told Covino,
but I also think you shouldn't stop. That doesn't mean you should give up. That doesn't mean you should stop striving for more.
No,
you can strive for more, but you shouldn't do it at the sake of sanity and quality.
Someone once told Covino and I a quote that I'll never forget, which is, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And it stuck with me because...
You remember the quote, but you don't remember who said it.
Was it the makeup person?
I don't remember. I don't remember either. I don't think it was a makeup
That's how I feel
person.
when I take a nap.
I think it was someone in the makeup chair. Like, we were sitting in the makeup chair at ESPN and someone was in the makeup room. It wasn't a Keyshawn Johnson, but it was like, might have been someone like one of the other hosts or something. Who's the old white guy again? That was from like
Stan Everett?
Stan Verrett? Who is it? What are those guys that do Sports Center?
Neil Everett.
Neil Everett. Might have been him. But I don't know. To me, not seeing your kids to make more money is a tough decision. Right?
The question is,
especially
are you okay with making less?
Especially if the money you're making, you're fine with. Like, if you were struggling and making more money would be the answer, that's one thing. But if you're making money that you're surviving on and you're fine with, taking on more money and being away from your kids is like, it's a tough decision. And that's why what you're seeing now, you could say the obvious answer is there. But how do you think Tom Brady feels? Tom Brady's the best example of this of all time. Spot, his son, Jack, is 14, and his other two kids with Giselle, I believe, are 12 and 9. I just read it yesterday. That's how I remembered. 14, 12, and 9.
He's really
preteen
pushing his son into football, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I feel like
I don't know much about that.
Oh,
his son Jack.
Yeah, I feel like I saw something recently. Rich,
But
he didn't hit you up?
Jack, Ben, and what's his daughter's name? I forget. Well,
Penelope.
Do you see the meme where it's like she's held the Super Bowl trophy more than any Dallas Cowboy, and it's her holding it?
I did.
Penny Brady.
Little
Penny Brady.
Marsha.
No, fuck you. I was just gonna say Marsha. Tom Brady has a decision to make, Spot, and I think the only way Tom Brady plays
these are
again.
different decisions, man, because he's got plenty of flow.
No. But I'm saying Tom Brady. It's like walking away from being the greatest at the game he loves. But what's more important, hanging with fucking Gronk and Mike Evans, or seeing his kids pick it? Know what Tom Brady said that I thought was so telling? When he lost that game to the Rams on Sunday, he said, "I'm proud of this team. We battled. I'm proud of how we battled back, even though we lost. And you know what the one bright side is? Monday morning, I wasn't studying tape. I made pancakes for my kids." So Tom Brady's already thinking about that life.
Yeah, but he's already
and you know what he's going to get, Spot?
Major success.
If Tom Brady if Tom Brady plays again in the NFL, you know what it's going to be?
For life.
You know what Tom
Rich.
Brady's going to get? It's not a matter of being set, Spot. It's a matter of like, so's Ryan Seacrest. Why does he keep working? So is Steve Harvey. He keeps working. Why does
Well, that's why.
I mean,
that's
Patrick
why
Mahomes,
I said the other day, and you laughed at me because I haven't studied Tom Brady for 20 years. I said this guy's very competitive, and I feel like it's going to be very hard for him to hang it up.
You know what he's going to get though? If Tom Brady plays again, here's my guess, and you're going to be like, I don't know, bro. It's a different game. He's going to get the fucking Roger Rocket Clemens deal. People might not know what I'm talking about. When Roger Clemens played for the Astros, right, Spot? It's different because he's a quarterback. He plays every game. But when Roger Clemens played for the Astros, he didn't have to travel with the team unless he was scheduled to pitch. He didn't have to show up, honestly, unless he was pitching.
He pitched mostly home games.
He pitched home games for the most part, and every fifth day. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, yeah, Tom, like, you could do like the walkthrough on Thursday and play Sundays. I feel like there's going to be some type of reduced.
Yeah, but you're not your 100%. If you're focused on making pancakes and you're not there all the time, 100% committed, you're not going to be 100% prepared. So, again, are you okay making less? It makes sense.
I think
you
about
know,
it.
Yeah. Frank Ocean's very low profile, low key. He's living comfortably, but he's not living his full potential, or is he? Then Paul was saying you can't use dollars to gauge your success. But I mean, that's easy for people who make a lot of money to say. Are you okay making less? Yeah, if you're happy doing that. If you're genuinely happy, then yeah. But I can tell you this: I'm not. I don't feel like we're maximizing our potential. I don't.
This is from Matt. Hit us up. He goes, Dan Patrick recently talked about walking away from ESPN back in the day to watch his girls grow up. He goes, maybe you are living the greatest blessing you've ever been given. Watching Ben and Emmy every day, and you don't even know it.
Dan Patrick made a lot of money. I'm sure. Those are really great and beautiful, wonderful things to say. After you've made your millions. Yeah, that's beautiful, Tom Brady. That's great, Dan Patrick, after, a good 15 years building ESPN and making some bank. I think those are great stories, and those should be the goals and motivations in life, to spend time with your family. You got to make your fortunes first.
Allow me to quote my favorite movie. When your life is when your life is in shambles, or when your life is hanging by a thread. No. When your life is hanging by a thread, that's when you know you're doing well at work. But when your life goes up in smoke, that's when you know it's time for a promotion. Devil Wears Prada. Favorite movie.
Say it again.
Movie. I'll play the clip.
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie.
It really is a good movie, even though it's like very, very foofy. But here.
My personal life is hanging by a thread, that's all.
No, join the club. That's what happens when you start doing well at work, darling. Let me know when your whole life goes up in smoke. When this is time for a promotion.
So you're sacrificing.
I thought you were going to quote Baba Booey.
No.
My personal life said my work life is an annoying.
My
personal life said one or something.
I think he said one.
Yeah, because it's because of the sacrifice.
Yeah. Right.
That's all.
Okay, so
it's
making less. Aziz Ansari touches on that, and
fantastic movie.
Seems like a lot of people got a lot of things going on, and once those things create fortunes for you, then yeah, you can make those dope choices to just chill out and do less. But most of the time you're doing less because you're still making more.
I mean, I know we all dream and strive. By no means am I saying you shouldn't strive. But the Tom Brady's of the world are few and far between. I think we all acknowledge this.
Yeah.
The Ryan Seacrests of the world are few and far between. Not everybody can be Ryan Seacrest, or everyone would be billionaires.
No, Spot, I know. We're talking about the regular guy. Let's say some guys
when you're the everyman.
Let's say some guy's making 80 grand working at his firm, and he gets the opportunity he has the opportunity to go from making like 80 grand to 120, like a 50% raise. But that means he has to travel every week a few days and be away from his kids. Look at on This Is Us, Toby, Hump Day, that guy.
I was gonna say, which one is he?
What's his name again? You always know it. Chris Sullivan, right?
Chris Sullivan.
Chris Sullivan's character he was down and out, and
Beverly Hills.
They were going through job issues, and he chose to take a job in San Francisco. So on the show right now, he's in San Francisco Monday through Thursday night, and then he comes home for the weekend to be with his kids, and he's trying to cram it all in 3 days, and he goes right back to San Francisco. Flies to LA, San Francisco.
I know a guy that did that.
And you realize that, and when they flash forward, they're divorced.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it happened to me. 100%.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, sacrifice. What's more important? But you can't prioritize one too much over the other. And that, my friends, is the balance that no one can really master at the end.
The end.
Some people, too much work. Some people, too much fun time, personal stuff. To master the balance of that, as Liam Neeson's foe would say, good luck.
Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe.
All right, let's get into the random news.
Dafoe! Who's hosting Saturday Night Live this week?
Or as Covino said earlier this morning, I like to think of him as more Willem DeFriend.
Willem DeFriend.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a meme for that. I don't know it, but it has to be Willem Dafoe and Willem DeFriend, like smiling. There has to be.
Am I wrong by that? Isn't that a 50% raise? Boston Sal's questioned me. I said 80 to 120 is a 50% raise. 50% of 80 is 40.
80 plus 40.
80 plus 40 is 120.
I mean, that's how I would do the math.
I'm guessing Boston Sal's not a mathematician? Because I'm not, and I thought that was pretty simple math, right? Isn't that how it works?
I mean, that's how I figure it out.
50%. Isn't a 50 if you got a 50% raise of 80?
Hey, it adds up to me.
No, spot, right? I mean,
Really,
am I missing something? Isn't a 50%?
Yeah, it
Right?
adds up to me. It adds
Yeah,
up to
you
me.
make
I
if a guy's making 80 grand and he gets a 50% raise, he's making 120.
The biggest percentage brain buster that I've been focused on
8%
recently.
of 25 is equal to 25% of 8.
No, I keep seeing this on social media, and I don't know what's true and what's not true, to be honest. And I've looked it up, and I still can't figure it
You can
out.
swap percentages.
No, they say when a weather person says there's a 60% chance of rain.
This is great.
I never know. Yeah, I'm with you.
They're saying it doesn't mean that there's a 60% chance. That means that there's a 100% chance it's going to rain in 60% of that area.
A meteorologist.
If that's true, that needs to be
And I'm like-
explained better to society.
I mean,
'Cause when you
I realized this about a year ago, but still, my mind still can't wrap.
Yeah, but that
Oh,
means
they call me dumb spot because my whole life when they said 30% chance of rain, I'm like, ooh, there's a
So
in
there's
their
a
mind
low
like
chance
3 out of
to rain.
10. Yeah.
But that really means, no, it's going to rain in 30% of that area.
when they say there's a 60% chance of rain in LA, that means it could be raining here and not by us.
So in 60% of the area,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's wild.
And I've been argued this when I'm like, no, but think about it. It makes sense, right? Because how could they predict it's going to rain like everywhere? It has to be, within that circumference or something like that. So I say this now because I had an epiphany and people argue me still on that. And I'm like, all right, well, then it's not true. I don't know.
Then it takes away that whole
Because
dumb
you
joke.
argued me. Rich argued me in public that I was the dumb guy. And I'm
takes
like,
away
I think it's right, man. I'm not sure.
It takes away the whole joke that when a weatherman says 50% chance of rain, that's like the ultimate guess. No, it's actually 100% going to rain just
in 50% of the area.
Whoa.
So that percentage stat baffles me because I don't really know what's right. Because when I present it as fact, everyone's so adamant that I'm wrong. I'm like, okay, well then I guess I'm wrong. I don't know. But I've thought about it and I keep hearing it. And
Matt said he asked his local weather guy because you brought it up, and the weather guy said you're right. So look at that. Stormfield said you're right.
Okay, so again, I'm going to make this
Who's the
very
guy?
clear.
Who's the guy? What's the guy out here in LA that's real?
Dallas something.
Dallas rains.
If the weatherman says there's a 20% chance of rain today, that means, it's going to rain in 20% of the area. If your Chicago weather person says, yep, there's a 30% chance of rain, it's going to rain, but only in 30% of the Chicago area. Not everywhere, just in, parts of the city.
Now,
it makes sense, right? People will fight me on this, and then I create my own doubt. And I'm like, I guess I'm wrong. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
I know we have about 15 minutes left. So I have a friend in need. So you
There's
want to
not
go
a
with
lot
some
of
quick
news.
news?
Yeah,
Go
it's
with
quick
quick news alerts and I have a friend in need we could end on. Why did I write this down? Does this apply to anything I wrote? Do problems always follow? When we talk about something, do problems always follow you no matter what?
Is that like people with a black cloud?
Do problems
When you
always
take
follow?
yoga class with girls with hot asses? Yeah, problems always follow.
Problems always follow.
Yeah.
What about when you
partying?
what about when you teach yoga classes with girls with hot asses?
Yeah,
Do problems always follow.
Hey, bestie.
It's it.
All right, ready?
I try not to stare, but sometimes you gotta look.
I'll try. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. I will
That being said, I do
try to help you think of that. But rando news real quick.
Okay, yeah.
on this
rando news!
Hump day, real quick. There's not a lot.
Spaghetti.
Not a lot that we want to cover. Shout out to Chris Rucker, the All Night Mo Sucker,
Spaghetti.
Jeff the Jerk Man,
Spaghetti.
all our regulars. We appreciate you guys. All right, a third date was added to the When We Were Bung tour.
I think it's too much.
Just throwing that out there.
I think they need to maintain scarcity because too much of a good thing is not good.
Oversaturated.
Yeah, I think it's too much. I think
Something like that.
I think adding the extra day made sense. Adding 2 days is now you're just too much.
All right, so we fought about this tour.
Why not make it a residency in Vegas?
I get it. It means a lot to a lot of people. They've added a third date.
What's dashboard?
That was a lot of bands. 65 bands. How are you going to do that? So they added a third date.
Yeah, you get so big.
Only one Major League Baseball player got into the Hall of Fame.
Robbery.
I think it's sort of making a mockery of the Hall of Fame at this point.
Yeah,
I really do.
it's,
I'm never one to be like, yeah, you know what? These things mean nothing. I'm not that guy, but Big Papi is deserving. There's no question. Big
I'm still
Papi
holding
got
out
in
for Pete
unanimously. He was a great clutch hitter, one of the best of all time. He had so many big moments. He's a great player, great person for baseball. He's in the Hall of Fame as he should be. here's the little catch. The little catch is he was also part of a steroid controversy and was overlooked. His name was on the lists early on. His stats show that. Could he have made adjustments? Yeah, he could have. But when he played in Minnesota, the dude was hitting like 11 to 20 home runs a year. He goes to Boston, he's hitting like 30, 40 bombs a year. You know, he became a different player. Could that be steroids? Yes. Does it have to be steroids? No. Was he on a list? Yes. But people overlooked it. He was a lovable guy. He meant a lot to baseball. You know who else meant a lot to baseball? Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and they've missed their chance. They're done.
Yeah,
Barry Bonds
they'll
is
get
shut
their
out of
chance
the Hall
again.
of Fame.
They'll make it. They're going to within our lifetime. Within our lifetime, they're going to make an exception, and it's going to be.
The controversy is baseball took advantage of these players. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. You guys know the story.
Yeah.
Baseball turned a blind eye.
They should all be in.
Because baseball needed the excitement, needed the home runs, and they put these dudes on a pedestal. These dudes were the best of that era, regardless. If you're going to put in Big Papi, you know, who's deserving? There's no question there. How could you look over Barry Bonds?
You got to put them all in. They define an era of baseball, and we'll look back at that era of baseball and remember
Everyone was okay with
it was steroid riddled.
It was steroid riddled and ridden.
Riddled?
But
riddled, yeah.
Riddled. Yeah, I guess right.
But how could you deny it at this point?
Exactly.
So no Bonds, no Clemens, but congratulations to Big Papi.
I have a question.
Yeah.
A naive sports question, like Jordan likes to ask. If they are up for to go into the Hall of Fame and they don't get it, are they eligible to come back again?
Usually no.
It's a period spot of I believe a decade, and then you have a certain time on the ballot, and then they take you off the ballot. Like they give you a number of chances to get on. Like there are players that their first ballot they don't get nearly enough votes, and as time passes, the writers are like, all right, maybe now.
Well, it's like a write-in vote or something.
It's like
it's watered down at this point, though, when you have guys who aren't Pete Rose, you know, who gambled in baseball.
Yeah.
When you have no Barry Bonds, no Roger Clemens, guys that defined an era. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, all these guys moving forward.
You know what they're saying now? You know what they're saying now?
Doesn't
you know what they're saying now? They're saying things like, they're pulling up past shit like,
fuck out of here.
Ty Cobb beat women and he's in there. So people are starting to like pull out like the.
and here's the
other this guy was racist and he's in there.
Here's the new stance, you know, to tie it back to Patrick Mahomes and all these other, mostly black athletes, to be honest. But I mean, anyone in sports. But I saw a lot of, they were mostly black athletes standing up for like, Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. Give me a break.
Barry Bonds could be the greatest player of all time.
I'm not saying it's racial. You know, we got the fourth Dominican in the Hall of Fame ever.
Dominican
in Big Papi.
Barry Bonds might be the greatest player of all time.
But Barry Bonds might be the greatest player of all time.
Most
and
feared
people
hitter.
are standing up on his behalf. Like, he got walked with the bases loaded.
I mean,
that's how great he was.
He was the
in
most
his prime.
feared hitter. If you look at his accolades and Roger Clemens' accolades, it is laughable, which is why you're right. The Hall of Fame is being mocked a bit today.
It's being mocked big time. Big Papi time.
They could be picked by the Veterans Committee, which could happen. Mark, thanks for pointing that out.
Spot, did you want to take a call or something?
Yeah, Jim Ramsey. I know he's big into the
Hey,
baseball
Jim, what's
world.
up, man? Love to hear from you. Make it snappy. What's up?
Hey, guys. Players are on the ballot for 10 years unless they receive less than 5% of the vote, then they fall off.
That was
then after that, they go to different veterans committees and such. So Bonds and Clemens are actually going to roll around to a veterans committee in a few months.
Hey, Jim, let me ask you this, because I saw, and that's sort of what's happening, because I know there's a little East Coast push. We're out here in L.A., obviously, but I know there's an East Coast push for, hey, maybe Mattingly and Keith Hernandez got overlooked. For some reason, both of those guys that are always linked together, I feel like there's been an East Coast push of, hey, were they both overlooked?
Well, they were. And let me tell you something quick about Hernandez. The Mets decided to retire his number during the upcoming year.
Yeah.
Which is a rare level in any sport, any organization, and that's causing some people to look again at his numbers and making a case that he's Hall of Fame worthy.
It's, again,
leadership test. What you mean? Yeah.
Best
Anytime you
in
get
the era.
Hernandez, you get Mattingly in the same voice.
100%. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think both of those
an
guys-
injury cut him short, so or else he would have been a World Series champion too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jim. It's great to hear from you.
And you look at a guy like Keith Hernandez, who is the best defensive first baseman of all time. Him and Don Mattingly side by side, two arguably Gold Glove guys.
Yeah.
And Keith Hernandez, an MVP, and also
Two-time champion,
a guy that won
with
a World
Cardinals,
Series
yeah.
with the Cardinals and the Mets, so he's a leader. So I think Keith Hernandez has been overlooked.
Big time leader of the 86 Mets.
But you know why? Because back then, if you batted 300 but weren't a big power guy, you didn't get enough props. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a weird time.
To back up
and
Rich's
he
point,
dated Elaine.
There's other stats now that have become more prominent that when you look back carry more weight now. So
yeah, they were saying like Mattingly and Hernandez and certain guys,
their winning percentage.
like
I forget
the WAR and all the stats now and
that matter now.
Yeah.
If you apply them to that era, like how are they not in the Hall of Fame?
Becker brings up a good point. Is it true in Union Little League you were once walked with the bases loaded?
It is true, 100%. Actually, your dad's guy, Michael Kay, I think was trying to make that case for Willie Randolph. Seriously, like not Hall of Fame numbers, but if you take what's important today and you apply it to those stats, how is he not a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I think it was Willie. But anyway, Keith Hernandez, Mattingly, those are guys that always come up. And yeah, no Bonds, no Clemens, Big Papi, congrats. Again, he's the 4th Dominican in the Hall of Fame.
I could be him.
Yeah, the Dominican Republic's going nuts about it, but he's deserving. The guy was great. Peter Robbins, do you know who that is?
I do, actually, because I saw it today. He is the voice of Charlie Brown.
I know Christopher Robin.
The voice of Charlie Brown from Peanuts has passed away at 65 years old.
Committed suicide.
Oh.
At 65?
I thought the same thing. I'm like, yeah, he's a little old to commit suicide, right?
You're so
Suicide's
close
a
to
young
the
man's
end.
game.
I
You're so
thought
close
the
to the
same
end.
thing.
It's a terrible joke, but like hip hop and suicide, that's like a young person's
Mental-
Is that a joke?
No, I'm saying like it's a bad joke, but I'm saying like in my
agree.
mind, like people commit suicide when
No,
they're
no,
young,
I mean,
unless
you-
some tragedy happens,
You
right?
don't, you don't know what he was going through.
That's
I mean,
No, you absolutely
mental
don't. But
disease.
don't
Maybe he had
hear it
physical
that often.
ailments that were getting worse. Maybe
Yeah.
you never know.
So
But
Peter
it
Robbins
is though. Sadly, it usually is a young person.
was the original voice of Charlie Brown. Good grief. Commits suicide at 65. He was the original, did the voice for like the original span of some of the classics that we've seen at 9. He was 9 years old, and he was the voice of Charlie Brown.
Oh, he was in prison. He must have had a lot of like issues, mental issues, maybe.
Aziz Ansari, we talked a lot about him today, claims that Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry, I'm just reading. I'm like Ron Burgundy right now.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
What did I write here? Aziz? Clowns on it, I wrote. Clowns.
Charlie Brown, now Charlie Brown. I can't believe it. She must think I'm the most stupid person alive.
That guy?
I have to hear his ugh to really know if it's him.
Yeah, it's the guy that did it from the time he was a little kid spot. Yeah.
Let me hear
Charles
his
Schultz, I believe,
Hold it.
created Peanuts in the early 60s, and he was the kid's voice from early on.
Wow,
Hold on, let me get
this
to my
no
favorite part.
holiday.
It's my favorite
This
part.
time I'm gonna kick that football clear to the moon.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. It's Peter Robbins.
Man.
Yeah. Rest in peace, man. Sorry he was going through shit.
You know what? I hear he got to heaven and he kicked the football.
Nice.
Yeah, he kicked the football. There you
Aziz
go.
Ansari clowns on Aaron Rodgers, and it shows that cultural shift of like nerds are now like bullying the jocks. It just, again, it really emphasizes that. It just is what it is. It was still a funny special, but Aaron Rodgers, my whole point on even bringing that up is the more the public clowns on him, the less chance he has of winning the MVP, the more chance of Tom Brady retiring because he'll win it. Hugh Hefner's in the news, Rich. He was blackmailed. You saw this?
No, but I think.
But here's something that was.
This is a conversation for another
It
day
is,
because I feel like Hugh Hefner. I actually wrote this down in my notes that I didn't get to today. Hugh Hefner. There's never been a person on planet Earth that died at the right time.
Oh yeah, because even
if he lived 5 more years, he died still thinking everything with the world being like, oh man, fucking Hugh Hefner.
There's an A&E
with the babes,
documentary, an A&E docuseries called Secrets of Playboy, and it's sort of bringing all that stuff to life. And Holly Madison, one of the most prominent, playmates,
who told the story on our show, or someone told the
No,
story.
it was some random like hot model.
Hugh Hefner has all kinds of naked pictures of women that he would allegedly use as a form of blackmail against them, and they would be like prisoners in his mansion, and that's sort of the vibe and tone that they're now creating and setting for Hugh Hefner. And now Crystal Hefner, his ex-wife, is backing up everything that Holly Madison and all these playmates are saying. So
Well,
really,
he's dead. He's dead. So you know what?
It doesn't
No,
matter.
I'm not saying
but
who cares,
It does
but, like,
change the brand moving forward, though. It's
it does, but
remember
what is
they
the
had a
brand
channel
anymore?
on Sirius XM. Like, would Sirius XM welcome that brand now with these sort of accusations and things like that?
Yo, Eric brings up a great point. Hugh Hefner would be in the category, maybe not of Jeffrey Epstein, but he would be in the category of like creep superstars.
So he's in the
You
news
want to
today.
be a creep superstar?
And that's the random news
All right,
because
I have,
you know
I have
we're
two
going
more.
long.
I have two more quick things to say, and we'll throw our friend the need till tomorrow. It has to do with moving in with your significant other. So remember this for tomorrow. It's
I
a
got
good. It's
one
a good
thing
one.
to say. You better work.
Here's my answer. Don't do it. Save yourself.
Can I say get well to Tom Brock?
Yeah.
Our good pal Tom Brock. Get well.
That's what I was going to say.
He's doing better. He was hurt in an accident at work, but he's doing a lot better now. Black Ice. You guys know him better as Black
The
Ice.
video of him getting injured is insane.
Dude, let's play it. Hold on.
I don't think he. I want
Dude,
to check.
he sent every picture to me, and he's like, "Post this." I think he's okay with it.
Anyway, Black Ice, one of our longtime pals.
Black Ice is very quick to. He loves the support in our Covino and Rich Carl circle. He hit me up. I talked to him twice, and I made him laugh a little bit because he showed me some pictures that I will not post here because it was like, here's this like the cuts and wounds he has, but they're pretty close to like his groin.
I think he just wanted to show you his
he
like,
is like
monster
he didn't
teeth.
show me his dick, but his skin. I was like, yo, you need an operation and some fucking cocoa butter. This was
You saw the rump of smooth skin?
I was like, you're the driest motherfucker there's ever been. I'm like, yo,
Kevin Durant is. We know that.
I was like, yo, you're Ashy Tommy. You're no longer Black Ice. Ashy Tommy. Yo, he was, we were cracking up, and he's like, yo, man, thanks for putting me in a good mood. And he had surgery, and the video, I told him, I said, Tom, Black Ice, you're our boy. I'm so happy you are alive, because when you watch his quick little video, you're going to be like, he's lucky to be alive.
It's a berry picking machine, right? Is that how you describe it?
So here's
a harvester, some
yeah,
sort of
it's
harvester?
like a harvesting berry picking machine that he was delivering. He's a truck driver.
Almost a harvester of sorrow.
And this harvesting machine was sort of slipping off the truck. And I don't know
He's
how.
trying to brace it.
And he was trying to brace it, or like, I mean, he knew he couldn't adjust it with the weight of the machine, but I think he was trying to just see if he could shimmy something. And all of a sudden, this big machine falls on him.
It's a miracle that he's okay.
The fact that he's alive and he's hurt.
There's an angel on his side that day. Yeah, and you know what? He's hurt and he's doing well, and that's really all that matters.
So I'm sending him I'm sending him well wishes.
Let me see if I can.
Some moisturizer.
Pull up. You want me to play it?
Yeah,
might
please
as well.
play it.
We'll
Yeah.
wrap up the show. So anyway, it's our.
So by the way, it's
Tom Brock Black Ice
Hold on.
celebration
I
show.
gotta turn it
And
around.
I know
turn it
it's someone holding a phone, I guess.
Well, security footage.
It's security footage, but it's
Ready?
of some
Here we
vato
go.
holding a phone. So there's Tom, big Black Ice.
Bracing that green machine.
See that big ass machine?
Like, what was he thinking? What the fuck was he
Probably
thinking?
thinking my pants are falling
Oh,
down.
he's probably thinking like, am I?
Oh. Ay, Dios mío.
Ay, Dios mío.
Ay. Oh, here we go. Change. Ay,
How's
here
it?
it goes. Here it goes.
See Black Ice there?
Black Ice is in blue.
And then he's
trying
like
to brace
bracing
this
the machine.
machine.
Like, what? He's probably thinking, what could I do to get it back on the? Boom.
Yo, that's too close for comfort. And got him in the hospital. Hurt his pelvis, but he's all right. So good for him.
Crushed his.
We celebrate our guy, Black Ice.
Clavicle and his pelvis, I think.
Yeah.
It was so scary. Though.
Yeah, I talked to him when
honestly,
he was,
I didn't know
talked
how
to him-
bad it was until I saw that video.
I
was
talked
like,
to him. I
wow.
talked to him when he was so drugged up, and I was like, "Yo,
like, I
the
love
medication, like ripped you of all your fucking flavor." Because he was like, "Hi, Rich." I'm like, "He's like a white guy." I was like,
Hi, Richard.
He's like, "I'm under medication."
I'm not feeling too well today.
He sounded like Dave Chappelle doing a white guy voice.
Hi, Richard.
That's how. But damn is right. Everyone's like, "Oh, damn." So Black Ice.
Oh, apparently he's home.
Yeah, he's
one
home.
of one of our good friends.
Boom.
A guy that's been like family to the Covino Rich show for years. He is absolutely lucky to be alive. And some people remember him best from laying on the fishbowl, passed out.
Without a thing on top.
Without a truck on
cherry
top of
picker
him.
on top of him.
Oh, man. Glad he's okay.
Yeah.
And one more quick note.
That could have, if it landed a few inches to the right.
He's lucky his Johnson didn't get crushed under that.
It could have crushed his-
my Johnson.
Maybe his Johnson helped him.
Yeah, remember? My Johnson.
Maybe that's how he got up. Like, he's like, maybe he was stuck and he's like, Power of the Johnson, and it lifted the machine.
It was an inch
by the
away
way,
from his Johnson.
You know, he told me
it could have crushed his.
Inch away from my Johnson.
It could have crushed his neck.
Yeah, I asked him like,
That's my uncle passed away that way.
My grandfather died at work from a freak accident.
My uncle was in the driveway working on a car,
And it
was
rolled
up
over,
on,
right?
and it came out of
jeez,
whatever, rolled down the little things, rolled over his.
My mom's dad was on a lunch break, and he was sitting there with his coworker, and there was like a bulldozer going right toward him. And they're like, there's no brakes. And he got crushed on it by it at work. It's horrible.
That's your mom's dad?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So,
Now-
I mean, to see black ice come so close.
And by the way,
scary as hell.
Mariachi guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom's dad.
You know what Black Ice told me?
What?
That I said, well, who was there? This is the fucking scary part. He said, no one. He said, it took probably, he said, realistically, like 4 to 5 minutes for someone to be, some guy passed by in a pickup truck. And he's like, help, help. He's like, help, my Johnson. And he said, no joke. He goes, that was the longest 4 minutes of his life.
I bet. It's not a joking matter, but now that we know he's okay and he's in better spirits, you know,
but he said that was the scariest 4 minutes of his life. I know you got to run, but I just have to say one last thing. Up in Canada, I don't know how this is not being reported more down here in the States.
It's snowing.
This truck driver anti-vax mandate protest where millions of people and truck drivers from across Canada are like,
they've raised millions of dollars.
Spot, but
Canadian, so it's like $10.
But I'm saying, they raised like 12 loonies or toonies? No. But no, they are on a mission. Like if you saw the amount of people and trucks and people supporting what they're going for.
A lot of people hit me up about it.
Unbelievable. So many Canadians hit me up being like, look at this footage. And we're talking miles and miles and miles of trucks blocking roads and protesting and people supporting. So whatever you're trying to get done up there, Canada, be safe and do your thing. Black Ice. Get better. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.